Yo, 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 what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to yet another Beyond the Summit podcast special here. It is Movie Buffed, and I'm in the house right now. I'm in the house, guys.
I'm also in the house.
What is happening?
Hey, dude.
What's up, everybody? This is Dakota, and I got with me my buddy Dan, and we got a special guest for you today, none other than Slime himself.
It me. Yeah,
It me.
I'm here.
All right.
This is nice digs you guys got, man.
Yeah, this place is pretty sweet, right?
The wood. It looks like this is like a hut on a Hawaiian bonfire beach.
That's what we went for.
Yeah.
So that screams
Bohemian.
movies and podcasts.
Yeah, bohemian look.
What's up, everybody? So if you do not know what the hell is happening right now, Movie Buffed, we like to, it's like, a book club where we put out a movie, you guys have to go watch it.
That's a good way to put it.
You come back with us, and we talk about the movie.
We
Yeah.
deep dive too.
We dive about it a bit, and we like to mix it up. Sometimes we'll go to what's happening in the theaters. Last episode, we got to check out Thor Ragnarok, which I thought was an amazing film. You can catch our last episode of Movie Buff for our thoughts on that. And then
Laugh
we like
riot.
to, we like to go back occasionally to tickle the nostalgia pickle, I like to say.
Yeah, with that pickle, and that pickle screams when you tickle it.
Yeah. Did Teen Wolf make your pickle scream?
It did. Last night I watched it again, and I was just my pickle even. Whew.
We watched it also last night.
Yeah, we watched
Dan
it
and
last night. It was
myself.
fucking hilarious. And all right, so you picked this movie.
I did.
Why? First off, I love that you picked this movie because I'm a huge fan of it. And like we said, every time there's a movie that's in theaters that we don't care about, we go for a nostalgia pick because that's our style. So this fit perfectly in with what we like.
Yeah, because what we've done so far, we've done The Wizard and Hackers. Mm-hmm. And I think this will be
The Wizard.
third.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
The power glove. It's so bad.
I forgot all about that movie. Jeez.
California. Why do you choose Teen Wolf? What is this movie?
So
for you?
Teen Wolf is all right. I'm the kind of I don't know. There's like this thing about me where I feel like the whole world is like a joke, right? Like everything is just like it just it's actually literary absurdism. Like we're dead. We're dead. Oh my God, we're alive. Now we're dead again forever, right? And that idea.
What the fuck, dude? I asked you why you're watching Teen Wolf. You're making me think about
No.
the never-ending blackness of life.
This guy's deep as
This is
shit.
good. So, Teen Wolf, in so many ways, represents that idea.
Okay.
Because the 80s, I feel like I didn't live through them. I born in 1990, but the 80s were a time where like anything kind of went. Like the goofiest shit was just cool. Tears for Fears was just sick.
Yeah.
And people were like, that is amazing. And that sort of idea, I feel like it's so beautiful because no one really, like, you look back even 10 years later, people are like, that was cool. It's like, yes, it was. Like, people unanimously agreed that this is what we want, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
There are so many examples of that we're going to be talking about through this movie. It's quite ridiculous what they get away with.
From fashion to music, everything is just
everything. They're like,
outrageous.
this is just the norm. And I know my future generation, my kids, and they're going to be like, this did not happen. This is fake, right? I'm like, you would be surprised. Some of this is like, this happens. It happened. It's crazy.
Exactly. And so what Teen Wolf is also, the reason why I love it so much, I think overarching, there's a lot of themes in the movie, right? But there's a hidden theme that I think it's not articulated in like any overt way, but it's acceptance. That the movie itself just lets you accept that this is what's happening. It never says this
does
is
it let
why
you, or
what's
does
happening.
it force you? It's like you're going to have to accept that this is happening if you wish to proceed with the movie
That's
further.
exactly it. It respects you as an audience member. Like a lot of movies these days will walk you through like, this is the lore. This is why this happens. And this one, it's like, he's a fucking wolf. He's just a fucking wolf and he's a kid. That's what you get.
The explanation is literally just his dad being like, son, yeah, we're wolves.
Dude, sometimes it skips a generation. It looks like it didn't.
Yeah. And that part of it is what's so appealing to me is because it says this is what the fuck time it is. Either get on the boat or don't get on. Like, and I respect that as well.
It's a perfect mix of like traditional Hollywood is what I would say, like old Hollywood movies where the concepts are really out there and you you go with it. So I love that about this. And then the 80s as well, where everything is absurd. So all these things come together to make it totally normal and non-questionable that, yes, he is a high schooler and he's also a teen wolf. And everybody just instantly accepts it.
That's the thing, too. Another sort of in the theme of acceptance, he becomes a teen wolf and people are like, whoa, shit, that's weird. And then they're like, this guy's cool.
TW.
Like what the hell? Like, nowhere do they poll the audience of the the extras or whatever, the other students in the school. Do they say, how do you feel about this? It's just instantly, we like him.
We're winning basketball games.
Yeah.
So he's cool with us. It's really what it is. Not we're terrified for our life that he may eat us or our animals or our dogs or something.
What we think about our existential being, apparently people can turn into wolves. Like, that's a big news.
Independence Day did more to deal with that like humanity aspect of not being alone, which is basically what this is, right? But Independence Day does the same thing where suddenly there's aliens and all the humans have to deal with that, and they actually approach it. And yeah, in this movie, it's like suddenly there's werewolves, and not only are they there, you're not reading on the news, like they're playing basketball with you. And there's we talked about that scene, like I felt like it was almost realistic. Like when he first transforms.
We'll get to go check out the transformation scene, and I was going, this kind of actually realistic. There is now turning into werewolf certainly doesn't seem realistic at all, but there is a lot of realism to that scene that we're going to be able to dive into
until the end of it.
And before we really get to sink our werewolf teeth into this movie, I want to introduce kind of a new segment. That was your idea, Dan. And it's a little bit about what we're watching now. Maybe not what movie we just happened to see, but maybe what you're watching at home and stuff. There's a lot of new media. We got Netflix happening, Hulu, whatever. Dan, it was your idea, so let's start with you. What have you been watching, man?
So, I was in Chicago this weekend. I split time between LA and Chicago, and that's where I'm from. So, I watched a shit ton of Netflix this weekend. It's always my time to catch up because I don't watch that many shows here, and then when I'm there, I'm all over it. So, I have a huge list of things I'm watching that I pretty much recommend everything, but there's one that I want to talk about the most. But so, I watched the entire season of Mindhunter, which is the new David Fincher detective procedural about FBI serial killer profilers. I watched another Fincher detective movie, Zodiac, which I'd never seen before and was pretty good. A little slow, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Long. I like Zodiac though.
It is long. Yeah. You feel the length of that movie.
Yeah. Feel that length.
You feel
damn Detective Dan. You feel that length. All right.
From front to end.
The girthiness of this is sounding exciting
very
right now.
Girthy movie as well.
Hits you right deep inside. I watched It Follows.
I love It Follows.
You love It Follows.
It sounds like a sequel to It. What is it really?
Okay.
Though?
It Follows is a kind of new horror movie, semi-independent film that is about a demon-like presence that when you have sex, it passes from one person to another. Think of like The Ring, basically. And if you... so I have sex with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's great.
Normal. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're
having a good time.
happy.
Yeah.
But then after it, I got to tell you, I fucked up.
You have an STD?
I have a demon that follows me around, and I just pass it to you.
So gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you lose
but
it, though.
But you can't cure this one.
Oh,
well,
no.
you can only give it away.
Yeah, you can only pass it on.
No.
That's it. But if you pass it on and that person dies, it comes back to you.
It goes down the line.
Oh, shit. So if I didn't have sex with you, Anthony,
then it comes after me.
But if you die, it comes back to me.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to pass it on again unless you die.
And it follows. I think that is one of
What's the curse, though?
Not explained.
Not explained.
It's just you feel something? Like
no,
what?
you don't feel anything. You
No,
feel no different.
yeah.
How do you even know you have it?
They have to tell you.
They have to be like, this is...
So you're like, I have
it's
it.
in their interest to tell you so
All
you
right.
don't just end up dying.
But it doesn't affect your day-to-day?
Well, yes, it does because the
Oh.
demon presence follows you around. And it doesn't run, it walks. And it's physical, which is weird.
Oh, is it
But it's
scary?
invisible to everybody else. It can take the form of anything.
any person.
So it fucks with you all the
So
time.
what I love about what they did with that is there's the first scene where the main character, she's sitting in class and she sees this old woman just walking like probably like a half mile down the way outside of the school window, and the way she's walking is like it's like a little brisk, and you're like, wait, what is that? And they did it like a super good job of like, that's scary because she's just walking.
She's just walking straight at him. And it's weird like that. The whole movie is...
That's trippy.
It's creepy
amazing.
and scary. I think that the third act of that movie is fucking awful.
I think so, too.
The pool scene is
I
one of
think
the
so, too.
worst decisions anybody's ever made in a movie. It is so out of character for everything.
I don't like how they shoehorned in like it's our dad. That's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like
It was
that.
dumb.
Wait, how old is this movie?
It's very recent.
2014,
Very
I
recent,
think.
okay.
Yeah, the
2014,
director
2015.
also is doing something else now that's actually pretty interesting because it was kind of successful,
Okay.
especially for like the size of the film itself. Whatever. I recommend watching it because
All right.
the concept is super Hollywood as well. Just
the
like
soundtrack.
Soundtrack's dope
It's
too.
so sick. I'm a sucker for synthesizers.
That's what it's.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a super synth out
Oh,
contract.
that's why you're watching it. All right. Dan's a huge he loves
but
this synth
yeah.
shit.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
it, but I
Loves
feel like it's almost out of place. I don't know if it just feels like it's like they like that stuff and they put it in, but I don't know if it was the best thing for that movie. But I love it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel you. And okay, so it's funny story. I actually went to see a screening of this movie for the first time. It was a director Q&A at like the ArcLight.
What?
Yeah. And my friend was like, "Hey, you want to go see this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I ended up going director Q&A. We'll watch the movie. I'm like, "This is great." The thing about director Q&As in Hollywood is that you get a whole bunch of douches in the audience.
Excuse me.
No, I wish it were like that.
Oh, no.
But they were like, "I just think that the way you shot the shot composition and what you did in this scene was just, it was really brilliant and really groundbreaking." And it's like, that's not a fucking question. Ask him a question. It's Q&A. It's not a suck dick and A.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that's the worst. Or the other thing, so I went to an Anthony Bourdain show, and the Q&A was the worst part of the show, because everyone was like, somebody coming up being like, "Come to my restaurant," or
Oh no,
"Can I buy you dinner?" And it was like no questions, and everybody was getting booed. And then he's like, "I'm just not going to do this anymore because nobody's asking questions," and the show ended.
That sucks.
It was
right?
terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Like weirdos
That's
ruin
awful.
stuff. But
What a wasted opportunity.
but yeah, he actually, he told us the budget. He told us like the concept of like that. It's about, you don't know what sort of time it's in because they had the little weird
Clamshell?
iPhone thing.
The clamshell?
But then also they're watching like 50s black and white like horror, like that.
And
was
then the weather
intentional.
changes all the time. Like, it's at one point they're wearing winter jackets and walking outside, and then right after that she's swimming in the
I
swimming
didn't
pool.
notice that.
The seasons don't make any sense. So that's all very Kubrick, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like I don't remember the actual term for it. I feel like Kevin would probably know the term for it, but like where they're trying to make you feel uncomfortable by putting things into scenes that don't make sense, or removing things or changing things. So at one point there's she has a clamshell cell phone that makes no sense. They're always watching 1950s movies. The mom is very strange in that movie. You never really see her. She's always drinking. Again, okay. This is not an It Follows podcast.
Sorry.
Good.
So It Follows.
It Follows is, I recommend
Mindhunters,
it. Mindhunter. I got more,
and,
baby. It's this list.
Man,
Zodiac.
Oh, damn, you went in. Did
Yeah,
you
dude,
even hang
I
out with your
fucking-
lady at all?
Well, this is what I would do. I would do the classic. You know this move. You do this move. You put them to bed. My girlfriend goes to bed at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Double digits is like, whoa. You know,
It's too
once you
much.
hit 10 o'clock, it's like, what are we doing?
Is she an early riser too? Is she
wakes up like
stirring at
4:30.
Oh my god.
Wait, what'd you
that
say?
life,
The
I
4?
just can't.
4:30 to 5:30 is her wake up time.
Those are the true grinders of the world. I
She's a
can't.
straight up
She's the
like
hardest
rooster.
working person I've
That's
ever met in my
crazy.
entire life. She is insane and the most dedicated, driven, hardworking person. Incredible person. Kelly Roederer.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said her name. But, okay.
She's not watching. It's fine.
She's probably the only person watching besides my mom.
Oh.
All right. So then I watched Bluebeard, which is a Korean like psychology thriller. It was okay. It kind of felt very like, I don't know. They were trying to be too magician-y with it. There's like basically 30 minutes of the movie that is only there to explain to you what happened in the rest of the movie. And then right after all of that, I actually don't want to say it, but it's fucking
Bluebeard.
Is it worth?
Is it worth Dan?
If I liked I Saw the Devil, is it worth?
I would say it's worth it if you're just into watching like Asian cinema at all.
Okay.
Because the director is that Korean director, like, I can't I'll butcher his name, I'm not even going to try it. But he's been doing a lot of cool work, and that's the reason I watched it. But I don't think this is his best thing. Okay. It's interesting, though. It certainly is interesting.
Slime, what have you been watching?
So I just got off a hot binge myself, and this was an impromptu one, but well, the thing is, I don't have a lot of time to watch stuff. I work a 40-hour-a-week job, and then I'm doing all kinds of stuff on the side all the time. But I made some time to finish up the last season of Degrassi on Netflix.
What?
And
that's what you're fucking watching?
yeah,
Portal.
dude. Listen,
To the back.
I've been watching Degrassi since The Next Generation started.
I was going to say, are you talking about Next Generation or the Canadian original?
The Canadian
or what?
one, just wasn't alive for it. I
Okay.
did end up watching it. It's on Amazon Prime, I think, still.
Wow.
And so the thing is, like, I'm 27. Maybe I shouldn't be watching Degrassi, but you know what? I'm still in the timeline, right? Like, I can't give it up now.
Yeah.
So I finished it up, and I don't know. It's this weird thing, like, you watch, like, a high school drama, and it makes me feel tranquil. Like, it's like I'm in high school and I don't have to worry about anything except, what Becky thinks of, So watching Degrassi, and the season, it got a little sappy at times. It laid on the sap a little too much. It addressed the ideas of gender fluidity, which I think is cool. What's cool about Degrassi is they always, like, try to make arguments for certain hot button issues in a very simple and clean way.
Lots of good life lessons injected into there. Or
like the way they explained, like
how hardcore do you think they went on that show? Would they talk about like STDs? Would they talk about? I'm sure they talk about sex.
Yeah, they do, man.
Yeah, so
one
they
character,
they cover like
one
everything.
character had an abortion. One character, there's been a couple transgender characters on the show, and the way they explain it, present it, is just like, this is the way things are, and this is how these people live. And
it doesn't necessarily normalize it, but it makes it like
it puts it
not embarrassing, or like it makes it okay to talk about.
Yeah, and it
which
lets
is important
you,
for like young adult fiction.
In
stuff.
a way, it lets you draw your own conclusion. Like, okay, I could see how this would feel to someone else, and I always think that's really cool.
Anything like that available now, though? Or what if our kids want to watch something like that?
There's definitely stuff. Like,
what would it be? Like, if they wanted to see, like, what high school is going to be like, or I got to see somebody who's going through these issues like me on TV, do they have that kind of stuff?
There's tons of shows.
I don't know. Well, what I've heard,
I don't know what the hell they would
I read
be.
a review of the new Degrassi, because it got rebooted for Netflix, and the thing is, they're like, real kids don't do a lot of this shit. Like, they must be like super rich and have a lot of time, but the thing is, it still kind of works.
Are you talking about new Degrassi or old one?
New Degrassi.
New one,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, what's that? There's that British show, not Bones. What is it called? It's
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. No, there's a British Skins.
Yeah. I watched Skins. It got really weird. It starts getting really weird and dumb, I think.
Well, because they always, that kind of show where it just has to continually spiral out of control. It just gets to such a point of ridiculousness that it's like, all right, I don't know what's happening anymore. These are not even humans.
Yeah,
this is bizarre.
That's a bad way to do it. There's like burning out, and then there's like just putting the candle in like a homeless man's mouth.
Yeah,
that's us Skins.
What is
that
this
a
shit
Skins
that
reference?
you guys are watching?
No, I'm just saying that you burn out, you fade away, or something happens to the candle that just, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like that's what happened with Skins.
Okay, there you go. That's actually really good. I by the way, agree with you talking about watching shows about like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like, I have such a guilty pleasure for young adult fiction, like books, and then also any movie that's really geared towards high school kids.
Me too. It's
I
like
just
you're
really
in
like
high
them.
school for a little bit.
Yeah,
Just one more time.
You get transported back, and like I love the like bad romances in them. Like there was a movie called The Maze that came out a couple of years ago that was just like a whatever movie, and for some reason I love it because it just is that perfect feeling of like the character in it is like both left out, so he's ostracized a little bit, and you can connect with him, but he's cool, so you can kind of feel like I want to be him, and he gets the girl, and like
Very Ferris Bueller-esque.
all that shit is great. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? What
That's
kind
it,
of
man.
shit you like? Do you go to the theater?
I don't stay current on movies. I have ad block on all my browsers. I don't watch TV, so every time
rarely catch like trailers.
a new
and stuff
movie
too,
comes out, and I'm like, oh, that exists. So I'm
do you
not
like
bad
not have
about
cable,
that.
so you like don't get to catch a lot of commercials at home or anything?
Yeah,
or?
I don't catch commercials. I watch.
I'm the same. Like I cut the cord so long ago, and I'm the same. Like sometimes movies will be in theaters, and I'm like, I didn't even know that existed, just because I don't catch all the trailers, especially if they're not mega popular and flying up on Reddit or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Any like mid-tier movie, I probably have missed it.
Yeah,
so,
I miss it, and I rely on like my friends that are just very into movies to be like, hey, watch this. I'm like, okay. Also, what I started watching was The Office. I had never seen it up until this point.
You never seen The Office?
Really?
Wow,
Oh
you're
my
lucky. That's
gosh.
great. That's great.
What do you
You're
mean?
in for a treat.
Oh, I'm lucky that I get to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I finished the 4th season. I'm not sure if I want to continue. I feel like I was waiting for Jim and Pam to get together. They did. Now it's cool, and now Pam's mad at Jim, and I don't care anymore.
I think you should keep going.
You think you should keep
I think
going?
you should keep going because there's a lot of fun potential staff changes in that movie that add a lot of good time and a lot of good fun here.
Okay.
So
Great. It's a great show.
Great show.
I love being able
It
to.
is.
That's like the greatest part about technology nowadays is binging shows that you didn't watch when they first came out. So I have like a list right now of things that I'm ready to do. The Wire.
You haven't watched The Wire?
I watched
me
The
neither.
Wire.
Me neither, dude.
Fuck.
Okay,
The Wire
me neither.
changed the way I think about the world.
Oz. You ever watch that?
I heard Oz is good.
There's a couple. I just recently started watching Lost with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Because she never watched it
Wow.
when it came out.
I haven't seen it
Whoa,
either.
Which
that's
is
really
really-
a great watch for a while.
I just like watching her while she's
And then
watching
not.
it, you know? Oh, well, 3 seasons. You watch 3 seasons and then you skip to the last one.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that that's the play?
Well, you
I
know
think that might
what
be probably
happened
the best play,
was
yeah.
they originally, when they first came out, they only planned to do 3 seasons, and they had the story arcs written out for 3 seasons. So, like, I can specifically remember a Conan O'Brien episode with Matthew Lillard. Is that his name? Is that the? No, not Matthew Lillard. He's the main guy on that show.
I know who you're talking
Whatever.
about. His
He-
name, though.
Yeah, I
it
can't remember his
skips my
fucking name.
mind.
Whatever. So he's on there and he's like, my favorite part about this show, and this is right after they had just launched the pilot, which was, if you remember back then, a humongous success, the most successful pilot in like TV history. And he was like, the best part about this show is that we're only doing 3 seasons. I've already read the script for all 3 seasons. I know exactly what's going to happen, and we're not going any further. Well, 3 years later, it's
Like,
the biggest
we
show
are
on
making
TV.
so much goddamned money that we will pay you.
So there's 4
to
seasons
keep
there
going.
that just fucking have nothing to do with anything.
That's wild.
And then it's like that's why if you see, it's like that's when the time traveling island starts. Like all this like fucking nonsense that happens after the 3rd season because it
How
wasn't
is
supposed to
that
be
the
there.
play if you're a writer? Like, well, we weren't supposed to keep going, but how about fucking time travel?
What if the island is a time machine?
So much money
Well,
that
let's
time
just-
travel will now exist.
They just have to do
Multi
something.
dimensions. Hello.
But it makes sense almost because what it allows them to do is basically pause the current timeline and do all this crazy shit and then revert back to where they were at the end. And obviously you have a bunch of like dingleberries that kind of you pick up along the way that you have to fucking deal with. You got to wipe those away. But at the end, it just goes back really to the season 3.
I see. Interesting.
Whatever. Binging is
That's
great.
good. That's going to be a great experience.
What are you watching?
I have
watching?
one quick little movie. Ever since we were on to Thor Ragnarok, I've still been on a Marvel binge, so I was happy to jump right into the new Punisher on Netflix,
yeah.
I've
which
heard good
was
things.
great. I binged that sucker in like a half a day of time. Like I did 6 episodes one night, 6 episodes the next day. I think it's like 13 episodes in the season. It was fantastic. I thought it was great. Mega violent.
Yeah.
At times, I winced.
Nice.
I winced
Really?
at how violent it was. Yeah.
I love
it's
violent
pretty. It can be
shit.
pretty intense. But overall, I thought it was great.
Was it tasteful violence? I mean, if you're wincing, I guess not. But
Probably
like,
not. It's really gory.
I want to say there's 2 times in the season that it may have been just a bit too much. Like
Okay.
we didn't really have to go that far with some violence,
Uh,
but it was badass.
Nice.
Great music was awesome.
I'm excited.
I recommend it.
I don't
to
know if I'm
anyone.
gonna watch it actually.
But
I don't know if I'm gonna watch that show. I feel like the Marvel Netflix
I mean, I didn't even
shows-
watch I too, and I didn't even watch Daredevil, and I knew Punisher was in Daredevil, so I
Yeah.
just skipped all that shit, went right to Punisher, went all the way through it. Kind of went back to see what Punisher did a bit in Daredevil, but I'm still not even committed to watching that
You're
one.
so
you know?
obsessed with like
How
you
does
always
it-
have to go back and watch things. You're so funny.
how does it compare to I believe 2003 Punisher with
Oh, what's that guy's name?
with John Travolta?
It's not
Wait,
John Travolta.
No. Wait, who's the
No, it's that other guy.
Who's
He-
the enemy though? It's John
I don't
Travolta.
remember. Is it?
No.
Maybe you're right.
Are you talking about an actual Punisher movie?
There's
Yeah,
a
the
Punisher,
Punisher
movie.
movie.
There's a Punisher movie.
Dude, I had that on DVD. I had 2 DVDs, and one of them got stuck in the DVD player, which was Jackass 2. But the other one I had before it got stuck was The Punisher. So I've probably
You're
seen
right,
that movie
yeah,
like 50
2004
times.
film.
What?
Yeah, I just kept watching
The
it.
Punisher?
That's what happens when you're poor, dude. You just keep watching the DVD that's in your house.
That's true. You know what mine was? It was what's that wine movie? Didn't I already talk to you about
Wine
this?
movie?
Yeah. In college, I watched this movie probably 40 to 50 times with like the girl I was hanging out with then.
Damn,
Fucking the
man.
wine movie where it's like super depressing. I can't remember.
That's not a good one to watch over and over.
That was the best part. I would go over to my like not like girlfriend, but the girl I was hanging out with at the time. I'd go over to her house every night and make her watch it with me.
Jesus.
It was just
I'm
like-
sure
it
you were
was
just a treat, Dan, to hang out with for sure.
hey, you want to watch that sad shit again?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Kevin?
You want to cry with me?
It's the wine movie where it's that little
Sideways.
Sideways. Thank
oh,
you so
with
much.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti.
Never seen it.
Oh,
never
is it
seen
good?
it either.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, sounds great. So a good
Feel
good
bad.
Netflix
Feel bad
and
about
chill
yourself
kind of a movie, Dan. Oh, feel
It doesn't. No,
Feel
bad about
with a
yourself.
lady.
Yeah. If you want to feel sad about yourself and not want to do anything with her and not have her like you anymore,
yeah.
that is how you do
Great.
it.
Sideways. Okay, got it.
Another movie I
Noted.
watched because you talk about the violence. I just want to bring this one up. I watched several other things, but Gerald's Game, which is the Stephen King novel that got turned into a Netflix movie. Netflix just recently optioned a bunch of Stephen King shit after it.
That's cool.
1922, 1922, I think is what it's called. And Gerald's Game are the first 2. And then Haunted Hill House, which sounds weird, but I think it's what it's called. It's called like the Haunted Hill House. is the next one's coming out. Gerald's Game. I was not expecting much. My little brother was like, you should watch the movie. I'm not going to tell you shit. Just watch the movie. Fucking good. So Stephen King. If you like Stephen King, it's so worth it. There is a scene there that the last time I felt this uncomfortable watching a gore thing was in
Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger. Oh,
Shoots
man.
his dick off.
Dude, that's a great movie.
Anyway, go on. I'm sorry. I mean,
That's a fucking great movie. Holy shit, we might have to do that. I had a toy. There was toys for that movie for no reason.
that's sick.
You like
that shouldn't be. Kids shouldn't be watching
No,
that.
it was like he had the mop, and then you'd like squeeze goo out of him, you know. And he was like, Toxic Avenger. You ever like that shit?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. There's another movie where I'd seen a dick get shot off though, and that was not Toxic Avenger. That I can't remember what it was. It was sadly recently though.
No, I was thinking of the Mel Gibson "We Were Soldiers," the leg where there's a napalm bomb, and then he grabs another soldier by the leg, and he rips all the skin off of the leg.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
just thinking about that.
It's fucking. I remember seeing that, and I'll never forget it. But that's my number one.
What about the hangnail from Black Swan?
No, dude, fuck that.
Oh boy.
Ooh, the hangnail from Black Swan got me good. That was a bad one.
Yeah, there's so many. I'm literally I was watching it like this with me and my girlfriend were watching it. I was like, oh, yeah. And she's like, oh, she's actually watching it, but I couldn't do it, dude. I don't want to say it, but I recommend it. If you like King, if you
What's it
like
called again?
Psychological horror, it's called Gerald's Room or Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game. Okay.
All right, that was a fun new segment of what we're watching.
One more thing. I'm sorry. We talked about watching movies like over and over and over. I've seen the movie Good Burger the most out of any movie.
Good Burger.
in
Are
the
you
world.
serious?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
I mean, Kenan and Kel were like the comedic duo in their prime. Like when I was in Nickelodeon, like they were on that shit. They were fucking
Dude,
fire.
the color
So
of the
good.
special sauce is something that I will forever love.
Love of orange
Dude,
soda.
It's perfect color.
It really okay. So the reason why is because I had a friend whose house I went to every single weekend as a little kid. I ride my bike over, spend the night. His mom was flush, and she gave us money to rent an
Mom was flush.
N64 game. We rent an N64 game and 2 movies every single Saturday night.
Shit.
So we'd rent a game, play it.
Two movies?
We'd rent Good Burger. Good Burger was always one of the movies, and it was never gone. It was the only copy they had. We've literally rented that like probably, I think, no joke, probably 50, 60 times.
This is past VHS stage? I guess you're...
This is VHS.
This is VHS
I was
still?
about 9, 10.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
What was your
and
rental store of choice?
It's called Sounds Easy,
Sounds
I
easy.
fucking love... Okay, you're... Okay,
Nice,
where are you
dude.
from?
Colorado.
You're from Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I've seen that movie. I could recite it by heart, and everyone has that. I feel like. And
Yeah,
yours
they
is Sideways.
My college one was Sideways for sure. I mean, if she's out there, what was it? Mine was like
sorry.
Lauren.
Mine was
Lauren,
sorry
yeah,
for
Lauren.
that.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. She was a very, very sweet girl, and I was a terrible, terrible person.
Lots of VHSs that we've probably spanked
Yeah.
unmercifully. I like Demolition Man. I abused when I was younger. I loved watching that shit.
Dude,
Taco Bell.
okay.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell and
Wants to go
Demolition
to
Man.
Taco
Oh,
Bell?
yeah,
They pull up and it's a fucking valet.
I want to save it.
Oh,
We
you
were
Taco Bell?
definitely doing that movie.
Who,
Like,
who were we just talking
future-
about that with? Amanda. I think was it Amanda or I don't know. We were just going over that movie. It was fucking awesome. Wesley
Great
Snipes' hair is unbelievable.
yeah.
Phoenix. What's his name? Phoenix.
Yeah. He's,
Something.
Phoenix. Simon Phoenix.
Simon
The
Phoenix.
cyber sex scene, like that gave me the greatest little boner as a kid, you know?
Oh my
I was
God.
not supposed to be watching that movie when I was a kid. And that scene
You mean fluid exchange?
Sandra
Doesn't know
Bullock
how
is
to
a
use
babe
the
in
3
that movie.
seashells. It's all fucked
Dude,
up.
what a gag.
The 3
All right.
seashells?
What a
Yeah.
gag.
Eternal. Whoever thought
Eternal
of that,
meme
like
for that movie.
that is unbelievable.
All right, we can't. We'll
Anyway,
save that one. We got to
Teen
get to
Wolf.
the matter at hand, and that is Teen Wolf. So on that note, I think we should just show the trailer and get into it, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. On your ready.
Can they hear us while this is happening?
I don't know.
Kevin, are we muted or live?
All right.
Balls.
God.
For Michael J. Fox, life hasn't been easy.
Hi. I'm going through changes.
His voice is changing.
I love the coach, by the way.
A keg of beer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Is there anything wrong with that?
He's got hair on his chest. He stopped being a boy.
What do you think about to get worked up?
At last, he's become
Scott? Scott Howard? This is your father speaking. Now open this door right this minute.
a wolf.
An explanation is probably long overdue.
That's they did big spoil. Because that's a side gag.
Yeah, they spoiled that shit.
He's always wanted to be something special,
They knew this was the money
but he
shot.
never expected this.
That's a Fair Oaks. They shot this in California.
Oh, that's Fair Oaks.
I see. I
He's
just said
got
Fair Oaks on the
style.
sign.
There's something different about you. Did you change your hair?
He's got class.
Wolf person.
He's got hair
Did you mention he's a
all
wolf?
over his body.
It looks like listing off what wolves look like now.
He's a wolf in teens clothing. And tonight is his night to howl. Teen Wolf, a new comedy with Michael J. Fox, star of Back to the Future.
This was after Back to the Future. I didn't know that.
Oh, well.
Same year.
So,
It-
same
it-
year. They were shooting pretty much nearly the same time, actually. From what I had gathered in my little pre-research before we actually got to rewatch the movie was that, Michael was working on Teen Wolf. Maybe not happy about doing it, happy about doing a werewolf movie, but he's doing it because Steven Spielberg is just down the street doing Back to the Future with their original Marty McFly, which I can't think of who was the original.
Can't remember his
Wait,
name.
there was a different guy cast?
Yes, there was. They even
I
shot
didn't know
some.
that.
They even
You know
shot
that?
screen tests you can catch online
Yeah.
of them
Really?
using the original.
Is it just some dude? Or
No,
is it like
he's an actor.
No, he's an
He's an
actor.
actor.
He's not like a prominent name.
He's not
or
a leading
figure,
man,
But
but
they
you might know
shot
him.
scenes with him and Doc and everything, and screen
Really?
tested it. And of course, Michael J. Fox is like, they have a Spielberg fucking movie happening down the street. I'm here being a werewolf, and then sure enough, they have the cast exchange, and Michael J. Fox ends up being a part of Back to the Future. As I think are they shooting both at the same time, or he finishes one and hops
He goes
right
back
into
to
another?
back. So he gets a break. So he's on a TV show.
Which
let's
this
give you a little context.
This
of
is
the
how
time.
he's popular.
He's very popular from his television show,
What show?
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
I didn't know
Um,
even that either. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
missing
so
from my data.
Only the oldest of our viewers. I mean,
Yeah.
of the older side of the viewers.
He
will know this
basically
one.
is becoming the hottest guy in Hollywood if you need an average teenager who is like relatable, right?
Right,
Okay, that's who he plays. And if you notice, like we were talking about, he's like, this is Marty McFly. And it's like, well, I guess it's not Marty McFly. This is just Michael J. Fox.
It's like old Michael Cera kind of a thing.
Do you remember? Okay, there's another movie he was around where he played a computer, like a whiz kid computer thing after this, and it's the same character again. But either way, he's on Family Ties. He gets 6 weeks off because the mom on that show gets pregnant. And so the whole show takes a
IRL.
break in real life.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And so he goes and does this. In his book, he talks about he doesn't even fucking really like this movie.
Yeah.
He hated getting in the
Really?
costume. He couldn't eat, and every time he was in the costume, he could only have liquids for that entire day, and he'd have to be in it all day long.
That's so funny.
He hated it, and he didn't like really like the movie, which is funny because everybody else involved in the movie love it. Rod Daniel, the director, it's his favorite movie he ever made. Everybody, it's obviously a cult classic. If you're around, like you really like it, and it did fucking well in the theaters.
I looked up the budget. 1.2 million, grossed 80 international. 80
Yeah.
total domestic international.
Yeah.
That's a fucking come up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
It's a big earning movie.
How much of it do you think was just because of him and his name? You think that people were like wanted to check
I
it
think
out?
it was a
Probably pretty
surprise,
big.
dude. But yeah, I think it was a lot to do with the
I also
success
wonder
of
what his bill was as Michael J. Fox if he's like a big name, and that's 1.2 million. He's probably taking like 10% of that budget. Maybe?
There's like no other significant names in this movie. It's like it's right. Or it's like
the
Michael.
dad. His dad is an
Yeah,
actor.
the dad. Yeah,
dad.
but it's like, I don't recognize. Oh, except we'll get into it. Chubbs, Chunky, Chunkster.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
man without a
Oh,
real name.
Did we look up his name in the credits? Shit, I forgot.
He does not.
I love
have a
how he
real
doesn't
name.
look like a high schooler, even a little bit. Like,
Come on,
he's
it's like half of them don't look like high schoolers.
well, yeah,
a
but
little
he's like, there's like a 30-year-old man who's like, was that liverwurst?
Yeah. By the way, have you ever seen the best movie he's ever been in? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I have. It's been a long time.
That's like
all
my-
I remember is Large March.
Yeah. Dude, that's like the scariest
Scariest
March.
scene when I was a kid.
Holy
Large March.
shit.
That frightened
That and
me.
also Remember the Alamo. That's a good one too. I remember the Alamo. And then
I just like every single. I love his scene in the pool when or it's his bathtub in the movie, but like and he's got or the scene with the fat guy where he's chewing the gum and it's like leaking all over his mouth and shit.
Oh yeah. I know what you're
With
talking
Pee-wee,
about.
whatever.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
yeah. He's amazing.
He's amazing. So yeah, it's a popular hit. A lot of people check it out. They feel it's a success. IMDb gives it a 6 out of 10. I don't know what the fuck that means.
You know what?
What the fuck does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean? The craziest thing about this whole thing, guys, and I think it's going to be a recurring theme that I might bring up, this movie is rated PG.
No.
The movie
I didn't know
is
that.
rated
You see
PG.
side boob.
You see side boob?
You don't just see side boob, guys. You see drinking. You see smoking marijuana. You see buying booze as underage. You see deadly law-breaking stunts, dick jokes, and sex, all in this movie.
I did not know that. And
The
that's
college
fucking
party
wild.
Your two kids could just go off and see this movie, no fucking problem.
Yeah. They get little tiny boners and all the cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it's great.
This movie would not fly as a PG film today.
It wouldn't fly.
It would almost be R.
In a lot of ways, it wouldn't fly in general. Well, a couple things, but no, yeah, that is insane. I had no idea.
PG does not even exist anymore. When was the last time you even
Disney,
saw
Pixar is
a
PG.
PG
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Disney and
Wall-E.
Pixar is like PG.
I think Wally's G. No, Wally's PG.
Is Wall-E PG?
What would be G? It's
What
like
the
Snow
fuck?
White. It's like G.
You gotta really be a softball to be
Really
G.
gotta be like,
these
oh my God, there's trouble. Oh, it's gone now.
It might rain.
The rain is coming. We got wet. We'll live on. G rating. No, it's crazy. This has to be one of the most hardcore PG films I've ever heard of.
Definitely.
Well, it's very much so.
Ever.
All these 80s and late 70s comedies, kind of like those old Belushi movies and stuff. Like Blues Brothers, I think, is only PG-13. You know, all these movies, the rating system just worked differently back then.
Yeah.
It was a whole
It goes
different...
along with what you were saying, Slime, where it's just like, this was just a thing. It was just cool. Like, that just happened. And, like, they looked at it so much so that they're like, yeah, we don't need to really bump up the rating. Car surfing's normal. Kids
Yeah.
will do that, you know. It's drinking, getting beer
Like-
at parties. That just happens in high school. So, PG.
Oh man. So where do we start? I guess with the, may I?
Go in, man. You got a motive right now.
Your movie,
can
dude.
get it.
Yeah.
So,
Get it.
all right. So there's a stupid phrase people like to say that Lord of the Rings is not a story about Frodo, but it's a story about Samwise. And I think that's dumb because Samwise is a static character. He never changes and he's a little crybaby all the time. But I believe
There's so many, like, I'm sure, like, a lot of nerds out there that are getting a bit, like, uneasy right now.
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine. Come at me. That's fine. But I just think Samwise is always crying, and it was like, I don't want to watch this, but I didn't read the books, whatever. I think that Teen Wolf, in many ways, is the story of Styles. And Styles is this... He's like... Okay, can we show... I think it's titled number 2. I put a still. Can we bring that up?
So wait, I don't understand how you... Okay, he's so
Okay.
great.
This Styles has this sort of aura. He's like the Joker, but if instead of like destruction, he just wanted to party.
Yeah.
Right?
And he comes into the movie at 100 also.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a guy and he starts slow and then you find out he's a party animal. He comes in, he's a party animal. You got it.
Right
And-
now,
and
he's
he's a
like
con artist.
He's talking about the party. Yeah, he's like this surly trickster that, like you said, 100
Trickster.
at all times. That's not the one, actually. I think the next one.
By the way, that is Chunk. That is the fat guy that we were talking about. Chunk's Chubbs. Michael J. Fox
Poor
there.
guy, you know, we'll get to
Next
talk about
one.
him a bit further.
Sorry. Next one.
It's not that one.
Next.
Where...
Sorry. Okay. Look at the shot.
Okay.
This is a fucking Joseph Campbell Greek mural. of-
Accidental Renaissance right
Oh, so
here.
this
The
is Accidental
Trickster.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
This is the trickster.
Everybody's looking
Dude,
at
he's
him.
totally looking, in his ear like, you're about to do some fucked up shit. Like,
Yes.
he's like, I'm going to make you do it.
And-
And all these chicks are going to watch you do it.
And this scene in the film itself is a party that happens very early on, and he's just like, he's running the show, and he's an entertainer, and everyone just kind of eyes on Styles, and for some reason he's not the main character. He's just
No.
like,
But he's pulling so much focus to himself every time that I can see what you mean, because when he's on the screen, you're captivated. You're watching Styles. You want to see what the fuck he does. What is he doing?
Styles
what
is
is
the
he
guy.
wearing? He's wearing shirts like... They made this character not just be like a supporting actor for Michael J. Fox. Maybe they knew, it's like, this is Michael J. Fox. He's already going to be a front runner. He's already going to be a big presence on the screen. We need to one-up him somehow. Here's Styles.
and they gave him style. His style for the pun, I guess, is amazing.
Yeah.
He dresses like a cool person would dress today.
Yeah, he dressed like Kevin, our producer.
Is he cool?
Yeah, Kevin's cool as fuck.
Oh, over there. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, Kevin. His shirt says Obnoxious, the movie.
Yeah.
He's just like, and the thing is, I think what's so funny is that perhaps they did this in the writing. Like they made Styles so cool that the only way he could ever be one-upped is by a man turning into a werewolf.
Okay, you want to know something interesting about the character of Styles and why he is the way he is in this movie?
Yes.
Please tell us, Dan.
When they originally like wrote and concept this movies, the producers' biggest thing was that they did not want the main character to be an average guy. They wanted Spicoli. Have you ever seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, who is Spicoli again?
Spicoli is...
Was he like the
Is he the
stoner
surfer
dude?
bro?
He's like the stoner
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Ordered a pizza in class. And all
What's
that shit.
his?
That's legend.
What's the actor of that? I don't even remember.
It's Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. So that came out a couple of years prior. They wanted Spicoli to be Teen Wolf. They thought he should be Teen Wolf
Really?
the whole time, dressed like him. So you'll notice actually like the Hawaiian shirts that Styles wears, the ridiculousness of him, that kind of like huge character. That is them being like, okay, Michael J. Fox fights for himself to just be Michael J. Fox, average guy. Same with the writers, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
And the producers are like, we still need this character. So they make Styles into much more of a bigger, larger-than-life character to be this ridiculous kind of con man trickster version of Spicoli.
Right.
And that's where a lot of that comes from.
Holy shit, that's so interesting. Because like, and I mean, they did it too, right? Like he is, like
Yeah.
you said, when Styles is in a scene, Styles is the focus, unless it's Marty McFly as the Teen Wolf, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, they really were trying to hit the point, like Dan was saying, like they need to make him, Scott, look average.
Yeah.
So Styles needs to be really above and beyond so that Michael's character just seems really bland. Even though he's
hilarious.
Michael and you know he's going to be probably one of the better actors in the room, you have to somehow make him look pretty bland.
Right.
So you need someone who's being very eccentric, and that's Styles. He
here's
does
the
a great
cool
job
thing
with it.
about Styles too is he's his friend. Like he's this amazing, like he's this chaotic like party figure, but his buddy is Scotty.
But you notice that nobody really likes him. He's the kind of guy who's fucking people are annoyed with. So, okay, at the party, he brings a keg.
They
and the
love
guy's
him
like,
at the party.
"Don't
That's
gi-
true.
They
That's
don't
big.
give it,
That's
like,
big.
throw it over there. Who cares? When he goes in the locker room, he almost gets beat up by the opposing team guy.
Right.
You know, he
Yeah.
asks for money from one dude, and
he's
he's
like a wise ass,
Yeah.
just a smart ass kind of a kid.
But
you know?
in the party, he's a god.
yeah, when you're drunk,
he's like he's the
hilarious.
host. He's like the fucking like center ring
He's fucking-
circus fucking host.
He's
dude.
fucking
He's
Dionysus.
like he's like
He's a god of wine.
You're
We
really
will-
going Greek with it. Yeah.
we will go. I think later we'll go a little bit more into like just this party and how he just moderates it and how just it's ridiculous and like these kind of like depicted high school parties that happen in these movies and like having
Let's
been
do
these
it
kind
now.
of parties.
Now you already get into it.
All
Let's
right,
do
you
it.
know, it's like these parties, and you'll see. I don't think I actually grabbed a clip, but there are people like rolling around naked
Yeah,
and whipped
and
cream, like
trying to
fucking
unbind themselves and
playing,
then
yeah, I've seen the parties where you're playing 7 Minutes in Heaven or wherever you're locking, in the closet, like, ooh, what are they gonna fucking do in the closet,
Right,
boys?
right, right.
And or maybe play the spin the bottle or some shit like that. But in this party,
this
there's
is
like 90
this is a
kegs.
goddamned rager.
They're partying on the front lawn. They're naked on the floor, wiggling around. Everyone's
Yeah.
watching.
It's a classic party. This is like the ultimate kind of spin the bottle game because they do everything. So the whole idea of the game is everybody or the girls draw a name and they all have a name of the guy at the party, and then Styles picks one out of the hat, or him and this girl do, and then he basically just decides whatever he wants them to do. Like with one of them.
And they trust Styles to do that.
Oh,
the
yeah.
party god.
Yeah, the party god.
And the girls are
He must do
excited.
it.
They're like, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
It's true.
And it's like, so the weirdest one though is, so he has two people swap clothes at one point, and you don't see it, but he
That's
comes
right.
back.
Yeah, they come
and
back,
then they
yeah.
come back, and he gives them a tiny little cup, and he says, we rewind it like 3 times, still couldn't figure out what he said.
He made some like offhand, I swear, like homosexual, someone's gonna jizz in the cup joke.
Yeah, he was like,
really
Yeah.
though.
he's like,
he really
it's
did.
wild.
go to Boys Town and ask somebody that you tell them, you tell them you want to go to Pound Town, and then ask for a blood sample or
Yeah,
like
some shit
or
like
say you
that.
want to take their blood.
And the
Like,
dude's like,
dude's
no,
like, no,
fucking
and
way.
the girl's like, yeah, and it's like, what are you? Why
What
do
are
you
you
need a
even
tiny?
talking
What
about?
is happening?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. And also the scene with the big guy.
Yes,
And-
yes, the
go
Jello.
ahead. Yeah.
So, and then he's like, all right, the big guy and this girl are paired, and she's a hot girl, and you got the big guy, and it's like, you have to eat all of this Jello. And he's like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then the girl's like, what do I have to do though? And he's like, you're gonna hold the Jello. Just dumps the full fucking bowl of Jello
right
down
down
her
her
shirt,
shirt.
Yeah.
and he picks her up and walks off. By the way, PG movie.
PG movie.
He is grabbing her up, straddles, knowing he has to eat the Jello out of this woman's body. PG movie.
Did you ever fuck with shit like this when you were in grade school or high school?
I've definitely I was in the theater group, and they could be a bit weird and stuff. And we've had gatherings, and I remember faint, terrible, awkward, cringy sessions of Spin the Bottle that were just
aren't those so
awful.
beautiful?
Just so awfully bad.
They make you into the person you are.
Yeah, they're the memories back here that you don't want to talk about ever again. But then you're in a weird podcast situation, you bring them up once
and you're
more.
like, oh my god.
I had 2 situations ever. One in grade school, which I was so embarrassed and awkward that I basically sat and watched everybody do it. I wouldn't participate because I felt so uncomfortable.
Were you naked?
I was not naked, but
It's close.
And then in high school, and they were playing Suck and Blow. You ever play that game?
Yes, yeah.
That's with the card, right?
with the
Where you have to
card.
suck on the card,
Yeah.
and someone else comes up and has to take the card off your
Pass
mouth.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Almost kissing.
It's
game.
almost
Thermodynamics.
Almost
if it
kissing.
drops,
If it drops, you might be kissing someone.
That's the mix up.
And then I played like a 6-person game of Spin the Bottle in high school, and I don't know
What was
about
the race?
making me.
What was the race?
What's the
3-3?
female male
Okay, good,
race
good.
there?
It was 3-3. And I mean, honestly, with some of the more attractive people I knew in my life who I don't think I ever really hung out with that much anymore after that.
Oh, so you had a pretty legit game going.
Yeah, dude, but it made me want to throw up. I felt so fucked up. I did not like that game. I did not like playing Spin the
And that's
Bottle.
what Teen Wolf doesn't show you is people being like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm a kid. Like this is awkward, and my neurons are going crazy."
Oh
No,
my
these
God,
kids are all
dude.
lubed up on booze
You're
from
so
all the
fucking
kegs.
nervous.
Every kid there is just ready to fucking party, and they're smoking bones. Yeah. And there's 9 kegs in the kitchen, and what Teen Wolf does, and a lot of 80s movies do this, it's like this idealistic like slice of Americana, right? And this is I mean, everyone knows it's not like that, but they wish it's like the platonic idea of like partying and being cool.
It is very Grease. It is very American Hot Rod. It is very all these teen movies. Like there's a dance scene, there's a party scene. There's a sports team. Like it's very iconic in that way. Like the teen movie idealized experience.
Right.
Did you play any of those games? I just was interested.
We'd Spin the Bottle. We did. Actually, we were kind of I grew up in like a trailer park in Colorado. Like we grew up is a little bit of weird.
I like that
area, but so we didn't fuck around with the games. It was like do a shot off this girl's stomach or whatever, and then they'd be like and it was more like fuck the games.
Just do it.
Like time is a wasting because when
I
we
wanna
turn
see a
18
boob.
we're gonna have to work labor jobs.
So did you have like a Styles? Was he moderating it like, Slime, hit that shit over there. Go.
No games though.
Like when you're in middle school, there was the games.
Middle
but
school was
in
more
high
like-
school, it's like fuck the games. Apparently, in my culture, I guess, in the culture of my school. But was there a Styles? No one had it like that.
Okay.
Not even close. I like to think I was something close to a Styles, but you never are.
I feel like you're probably the Styles. Yeah, in high school it definitely just becomes go into the bathroom or go upstairs.
Yeah, and just middle school is that period where you're just trying things out. But that's the thing. I think Nelly was the big reason why it all accelerated.
Wait, you're talking about the rapper right
Why?
now,
Yeah.
Nelly?
Why?
Well, no,
Why?
what
He
does
was
it
going
mean?
There was
down,
Explain
baby.
that.
Your Street in a Range Rover,
Yeah.
and then she says Street Sweeper, and that
Street
song,
sweeper baby.
yeah,
Hook,
that's
ready to
actually
let it go.
edited out.
Shimmy,
in
shimmy,
the,
cocoa, what?
That's edited out in the music video, Street Sweeper.
Because it's talking about drive-by.
It's talking about
a
that
street
goddamn
sweeper
thing.
is a fucking shotgun that you do drive-bys with.
But what I'm saying is that when we would go to dances in middle school, they'd be playing.
Wait, how does that have to do with anything? Okay, this is where
They'd
it
be
comes.
playing Nelly, and they'd be playing
They'd be playing Nelly.
bump 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 bump.
Get low.
God.
Yeah, right. And that was just like, okay, well, I guess
Okay.
that this is now it's time.
Grinding. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You just
that's
gave
what
me
I'm trying to articulate here.
Oh, I have PTSD.
grindage.
I have grinding PTSD.
You have PTSD on grinding.
I had a flashback, and I just remember suddenly sitting around. First off, I went to Catholic grade school, and so there was no
he snickered at that.
there was no dancing or talking to
Really?
girls, except
Like you have
for
to leave room for Jesus, right?
Yeah,
yeah, everybody.
in the
Yeah,
middle.
leave him in the middle.
Yeah,
And he's big chilling with you.
Leave him in the
Jesus is
middle,
on
shoulder to
his
shoulder,
knees,
but
right next to you
Yeah,
at
let
all
him in the middle.
times, and you don't let him leave your view.
Yeah.
And
He's in your lap.
oh god, but so 8th grade you get the 8th grade dance, and it's like this notorious thing because It's the first time you're literally ever allowed to talk to anybody.
That's wild.
And you have dance classes though every Friday for like 3 months going up to that. And you do like the foxtrot, and you learn like fucking.
Wait! Hold the fucking
They
phone
trained
here.
you.
Yeah.
You had dance classes at school.
Yeah.
Leading up until the dance.
Yeah.
And
you
feel like
weren't
that was a
allowed to-
ploy by the teachers to be like, let's teach these kids some random ass old foxtrot Charleston shit
Dude,
and see
yeah.
if they apply it in the real dances today.
No, so
And you're
you-
out there like, Nellie's great. Doing the Charleston and the foxtrot to Nellie. You know what's happening?
You know what was really big back then? It was like swing music, like that swing comeback. You know, like there was that one song,
Big
like, little
Bang.
bit of like,
Mambo number 5.
Mambo number 5 was like really,
And all his
I
lovely
remember
friends
stupid
that he's
fucking name.
remembering.
Big band, the
So,
big band bring back.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
practicing all these old dances. You know, you're fucking sitting there doing this shit, and then you get to the dance, and then it's like, yeah, some hip hop song, and everybody is just grinding and sweating, and all your parents are watching, but nobody fucking cares. It's the last week of school, and like you're just like the first time you can touch a girl, and I just remember seeing my mom.
Oh God, Dan.
After grinding something, and it just like I can't ever forget that face. I just wanted to throw up.
Well, what was it? Was she disgusted? Was she?
Everybody was disgusted.
I'm
of
so
course.
proud of you, Dan. Good
No,
job
dude.
with the grinding.
Oh my, no, they were not happy about any girls.
Wait. At this dance, parents attended.
They're
Yes.
like
That is
not
fucked
guardians.
up.
What are they?
Dude,
They
and,
are-
okay, you have to
they're just
remember,
assistants, you
There's
know?
chaperones.
Like 20,
chaperones.
There's like 26, 36 kids in my class. There's not a lot of people. So you're in a gym.
You can see everyone
And there's
grinding.
everybody sitting in this little fucking circle grinding, and then all the parents are sitting right around them just watching.
That sounds like some fucking True Detective
There's
shit.
a little grinding cloud in the middle of the floor. Just at it.
You know, it,
The parents
It's
are
like
all
the-
just
it's like Charlie Brown.
What's happening in there? Little sweaty Dan pops out, makes eye contact with his
Just
mom. It's just
limbs
bad.
and fucking.
yeah,
What are
yeah.
these kids doing?
There was not good things that happened. That was the first time somebody ever also asked me to go to the bathroom with them. Was during that.
Hell yeah, I get it, brother.
There's
Hey,
a girl,
boy.
right?
Hey,
Dan?
boy.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I'm not say who it was or what we did.
Did you have the main? No, you probably weren't allowed to have the main.
Yeah, no. It was like I don't know. It was just hair. It was a little longer, but it wasn't this long.
Okay.
I grew it out as soon as I got. Actually, first week of high school, I cut a giant like skunk mohawk, and then I dyed my hair blue.
Hell yeah.
Like-
you had to let him know.
Yeah, I was like, "What's up, dude? I'm not in high school anymore. I'm in public school, bro. Or I'm not in Catholic school. I'm in public school." But okay, I wanted to just ask about weird games, but I feel like we're talking about all these sex games too much. I just remember like people talking about.
Well, because the movie, it's a high school movie. It's
Yeah.
about a guy who's feeling average. He wants to be above average. So, you know, we want to compare our high school.
You ever hear
experiences. Like,
rainbowing?
Would you say you were average? Were you
Rainbowing?
average in high school?
I was hard average.
I
in
was
high school,
hard average.
You know.
What is average? Average of what?
It means like
Everything. Like, just you're there. I mean, you're not
cool.
Are you going to the dances? You're not in homecoming. I mean, you know,
I
you're
would- I
you're
did-
not a track star, maybe. You're probably not doing anything significant in the sporting fields at all.
I was just kind of like I partied a lot, and
You were not average, I don't think.
Were you cool?
He was
wasn't
kind
cool.
of
I
cool,
wasn't
but
cool.
weird, I
yeah.
imagine, Dan.
I was like I like floated around friends groups a lot. Like I was just kind of a guy who would like kind of just change up everything and move around, but basically just partied through high school.
Yeah, Dan did a
Wore
lot of
hoodies.
fucking. Dan did a lot of like, done a lot of shit. In his younger
You ever get in
days.
trouble
I
in
was
high
a good
school?
boy. I think I was probably slightly above average because I was a theater dork and just like way too like nice.
I had the lowest GPA in my class.
Dude, I think I did too. Yeah.
You're a bad student. You
Yeah, I
don't
was
seem.
a-
You seem smart.
I was a bad student.
You just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I thought I had it like that. You get told that you're brilliant as a little kid, and it ruins your whole
Ruins
work ethic.
everything.
Yeah.
You just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I don't need to try. I've already been validated.
By my mom,
Yeah.
so
no,
it's all
well,
good.
by like teachers and be like you know, I feel like a lot of kids they're just a little bit ahead, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a little bit more clever, and then you take that like, oh, I don't need to try hard. And that's why I'm bad at like Melee and video games, because I plateau and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm good.
Wait, working hard to get better? No, I don't.
No, I'm good
Fuck
enough,
that.
dude. I was in like we had like it was like level like 2, 3, 4 or whatever, and then like AP stuff in
They
my high school.
ranked you.
Yeah, yeah.
They ranked your intelligence.
Yes, dude. And then so
I hate
so
how there's so many numbers and you're like, I'm in 2.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you're
it was
like,
definitely a
what?
hierarchy.
And your buddy's in 3, and you're
Yeah.
like, sorry,
Yeah,
idiot.
that shit sucks.
So, but then there's a below class of that. So I started off in 4 and 3, and then after the first semester, I was in all special ed.
That's like in Mortal Kombat.
And like I was in 2s and special
No,
ed.
it's like in
basically.
Mortal Kombat when you uppercut someone, they fall down to like hell.
yeah, yeah.
You went
There's
down the
off
pit.
the map. It's just like gone.
That's where you were. And, like
the faculty's like, I'm sorry, Dan.
Reptile just like, goo, 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 and Dan's just like, hey, welcome.
The vending machine's right there.
Yeah, it's pretty chill here.
There's a change jar. Did you get in trouble in high school?
Yeah, we played a lot of dice, and we got written up for gambling.
Dice kid?
Yeah, it was really funny.
I remember dice
It
kids.
was like a rural school in Colorado, small class, and we were just like, when you're just a rural white kid in a white area and it's boring, you're just either doing a lot of drugs or you're trying to find something,
Yeah.
right? And that's what it was. And I don't look back on my high school like that was cool. Like, I don't even talk to a lot of my friends from high school. I have like one. But, you know, the gambling thing, it sounds cool, but we kind of knew we were going to get in trouble, and that was part of the, look how crazy we are.
You do it at school or something?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the library, and we were like, you know, throwing dice and fucking, it was really fun, but gambling's so sick.
You like gambling?
I love gambling
I'm so not a gambler.
goddamn much. I'll be in Melee streams, and we bet on the timer with my friends in the chat. We Venmo each other. So if the timer at the end of the match lands on an even or odd number, 0 counts as even.
Yeah.
It's a hard 50-50, and you know, you Venmo $20 on it or something like that.
$20. We have a betting group here where we all put like X amount of dollars into a pool, and then we bet on NFL games every week.
Okay.
It's actually really, really fun. We have this huge spreadsheet for it.
Nice.
Of course, it's like the nerdiest way of like gambling. We have like all our odds and shit like that.
That's good. No, that's, I
They
mean,
bet
that's
on
real.
random shit. Didn't you guys bet on some like ugly contest or something? Or what
No.
beauty pageant?
Miss Bum Bum.
Miss Bum Bum.
We bet on Miss Bum Bum
What is
Brazil.
what is Miss Bum Bum?
We took the under on 26 for the age of the person who would win.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost
I like
though.
that.
It was a 28-year-old. Very surprising.
Wait, I mean, wouldn't that be the older you get, the less? Oh wait, is it an ugly contest?
No, it's not an
This
ugly
sounds
contest.
awful.
I'm sorry, I don't know. Bun Bun didn't sound like the
Bum
most
Bum.
attractive contest
It's a
ever.
butt contest. It's a contest
butt.
about butts.
Oh.
Bum Bum. Yeah.
A bum bum.
Yeah.
contest. You bet on an ass contest.
But
so.
we actually bet. Our biggest win was we bet on the league finals, League of Legends.
Okay.
We for Samsung to beat SKT. But I'm not. I usually don't gamble. I fucking hate casinos. I go to casinos.
You guys are all
I don't do anything.
delinquents, really, is what's the fuck.
Degenerates. That's the name of
I
our
fucking
our
love
team.
gambling
Degenerates.
so goddamn
You and
much.
your gambling or
That's
whatever.
so. You
I was
like
an
yeah.
innocent
You look
boy.
like you're fucking drooling, dude.
I copied like PS1 games. That was the most like eccentric shit.
You copied PS1 games?
Like, you know, we would have like a, because you could make, if you were like one of the cool kids. I wasn't, but I had a close friend who was like one of the first kids to have like a CD burner. So he could
I remember when
burn.
those were hot.
He could burn PlayStation
The
1
white
games
CD-ROMs.
with the boot disc. So he was like selling them out, and you know we were working together a bit
Very
on that.
cool.
So it
Yeah,
was
that's a
hype-
cool
it was
process.
hype
You
as
were
hell.
telling me about that.
Yeah, I mean, you had to, if you had a PlayStation 1, you had to open the lid, you had to tape down so it would stay open, and then you just had to insert the boot disc first, wait till it spun up a certain speed, and then did the quick swap right there. And then
Wow.
you got to put in the bootleg version of whatever PlayStation game you wanted
Wow.
and play it. So, you know, we'd sell those $5 a pop.
See, the thing is, no one did that where I was from because no one like people didn't even like use the internet where I was like.
I didn't have
where
internet
grew
till
up.
like end of high school.
I'm just
and
saying they
college.
didn't care. Like
Really?
it's all just I don't know. I don't want to talk shit on where I came from, but like a lot of empty land. You know?
Yeah, I know
that.
exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
I was in like high end suburban area, which is
Okay.
like almost the same because it just boils down to people get bored.
People get bored. Your soul just needs to like scream at something, and I think that's why a lot of I feel like all of us in a way like attach so heavily to movies and TV because it becomes your window into like something just more stimulating. And you get really into it, and then you end up talking about fucking Teen Wolf for like an hour, right? Like that's
We're not really talking about Teen Wolf, is really the problem. We'll get back
we
to
were.
it, I'm sure.
Oh, I
like- no,
I like the
yeah,
high
yeah,
school.
okay. How do we bring it back?
We can bring it back.
I mean, what
let's
kind
talk
of-
about how this movie, and we can go all the way back, Kevin, to the first clip that we're probably supposed to roll, and you could start. But how this movie almost flirts with being just a straight up sports movie.
Yeah, it really
Dude,
does.
this movie almost is just a basketball
It
movie.
is a sports movie.
It's just a sports movie, really.
What other genre would you put? Okay, well, let's watch this and let's talk about
Let's
it.
watch this shit. Now, this is just kind of establishes. This is where we get into the movie. This is where we learn who is Scott, what's his life like, what's he doing.
Coach is amazing.
Coach is amazing.
He's eating a hard-boiled egg. He's like, get me some salt.
They're the Beavers, which you already know that that's a weak ass mascot, so they're gonna be a shitty team.
Look at the beaver in the back, just big chilling.
It's like
It's just like a
it's
really
hot
cute
chick,
girl.
too,
Yeah.
You know, it's like what high school has a hot chick as a mascot?
Playing against the Dragons.
Nobody's watching.
So Ron Livingston from The Office.
Is that what?
No, it's
what?
not.
So this is the first inkling as well that this kid's off. He's got some predatory instincts in him.
They get
Here
into it
we
right
go.
away. He growls and then he
Yeah.
has the hair.
12-71. They're getting their ass beat.
This is
so
good satire too. They,
But maybe Michael could do it.
Yeah, this
1
is funny.
point. 1 point. One more point for the team.
Boof.
By the way, the name Boof.
What is
We'll
with that?
get into that. That is just some shit. Can he do it? Nope. Scott, you suck. Can we talk about how wet they are?
Very sweaty.
Very sweaty.
From
Very
the moment
sweaty.
before the game start. I didn't even notice it. And he
I think
picked
like
up on it.
when they're like, okay, guys, you're about to play basketball, so can we just dunk your face in this pool real quick?
Yeah, right.
Okay, play basketball.
It's that
They're
we
all drenched,
we
and
need to
they're
make it look
drenched
like
when
they're
they get
trying.
on the court. You'll see multiple times in this movie. Even at the last basketball scene when Scott shows up, not in wolf form,
And he hasn't even played.
and he gets in the huddle, and they're like, "Where's the wolf?" And he's like, "I think we could do this." His face is fucking drenched.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe he was just so much anxiety from walking in, Dan, from not being
it's
in
some
wolf
weird
form.
decision that they made. We were trying to like justify it. We were like, oh, maybe they did it for like editing purposes, so like continuity.
Maybe they had a
could,
brisk
like, they could
warm-up.
switch it all around however order they wanted, and then they'd always be sweaty, so they'd never
Right,
fuck it
right,
up.
right.
But it seems very
Whoever the
strange.
sweat guy was on set, he really overdid
Put in
it.
work in.
He's just spraying them. Those poor kids. I just want to see those boys.
And the director just eating a sandwich, and then he's like, "Oh, you know what? Roll it."
The big one's not glistening enough. Can we spray him down a bit more? All right, very good. Spray those boys down. So they're the Beavers, guys. Pathetic team of basketball kids who are getting wrecked from the Dragons.
So the coach
Dragons are
you mentioned, by the
hard
way, the coach was originally supposed to play the dad. He was originally
Oh,
casted to
interesting.
play the dad, and they switched at the last minute for whatever reason, and I think it was
It worked out
way
well.
the right decision. He's fucking hilarious.
Now they play against the red shirt team,
Dragons.
But now, is that guy from a different school?
Now,
Yeah.
what they said about him, the big guy, right? The
Yeah,
bully in
the
the
bull-
movie.
yeah,
and they mentioned it after I went back and skimmed through it, Dan, is that he's a 20-year-old who's
What?
still doing high school because he went to jail.
What?
Because he
And they
did
don't
time.
explain that.
They said
This
it
is Teen
briefly.
Wolf.
No, they did. They say it in like a one-line throw-off. They're like, he's 20 and because he did time.
What?
Jesus
It was actually
Christ.
Lewis. It was a scene where Lewis, the quiet friend, who I don't know anything about that fucking character. I think he's one of the worst additions to the
No,
movie.
his subplot got dropped somehow.
It's
in the
so
edit.
weird.
Yeah.
He just disappears in the movie.
Because there's that line right before the second surfing.
Yes.
It's like, what's with Lewis, man? He's avoiding me.
And then it just kind of like,
Like, look,
whatever, you know? It's so
we got a lot of
awkward.
tunes. We got.
But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
Lewis is the one who brings it up. He's talking with Scott, and he's like, dude, that guy, you know, he's a 20-year-old because he did time at school. And that's right when he got interrupted to do the first car surfing or whatever.
Right,
But
right.
they mentioned it there briefly. But it was so offhand that it took me a rewatch
I did
to
not.
find clips.
Big
Even
miss.
we didn't catch it in our viewing of it. So that's the bully character, and I think his name is Maverick.
No way.
Maverick.
Is it really?
Maverick
I'm gonna look it
Wilson.
up on this thing.
Dude, he's fucking great. I don't know. That is a bizarre fact.
Something
There's
like
a
that.
lot of weird shit like this in this movie. The left unexplained, or maybe they edited it out, or whatever. Like Lewis's story is, I think, very bizarre. That the character is
Yeah, that's
more
like a
prominent in the beginning.
Mallrats-esque, like dropped plot
Yeah.
line. You know what I mean?
He's like, I'm the concerned friend, right? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm concerned for you. But before that, Dan, when they were trying to get Scott to go in and commit a fake arm robbery,
Yeah, that
he's
was
all
so
for
good.
that. He's all for that. He's like, yeah, whatever. But you're the werewolf now, and I'm getting a bit concerned. I'm Lewis.
I don't like you.
I'm going to disappear now. It's like, well, who is this character?
I feel like Lewis was supposed to play a bigger role, and then they're like, well, Styles is money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can. This guy's killing it. Like let's just make
Yeah,
him
they're
the
like,
friend.
Your circle of friends would be just too weird if it was only the two of you. So let's add a Lewis guy in there just to be there.
I feel like Lewis's Styles' little brother. In my head, that's how it makes sense. Is that
That
he
would
hangs
make a
around,
lot more
because he's
sense.
always with Styles. Like in the beginning when Styles is trying to buy beer alone, he's actually waiting for him in the car. He's smaller than them. He seems younger. I feel like he's his younger brother.
This is funny because like this is a fucking 80s comedy about a teen wolf, and we're talking about it like it's Dark Souls lore. like
the inconsistencies in the lore is just not right. Then you look at Chubbs, Chunkster, Chunky. They call him by a different name like every single scene.
Like, what
the
does
coach
that
says the
mean?
fat kid. The later on the bully calls him the fat kid.
But what does he represent?
Could you imagine being the actor and you're hired for this movie and you're like, yeah, who am I playing? Yeah, you're the fat kid. You're chubby. You're Chunkster. You don't have a name,
always
but
think
you're the
about
fat
that.
kid.
Yeah, like are
That's
they
gotta be
just like
fucked up.
okay,
Yeah.
like a gig's a gig.
Like I understand like he's typecasted into this position of being the stereotype fat guy at the school, but I'm sure
he's
at the
typecasted
instant,
because
like,
he's fat. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of like that's kind of fucked up a bit. It's like, do you not even gonna give the guy a fucking name? On
That is weird.
IMDb, he's chubby. They call him. Scott calls him Chunk at one point. The coach calls him the fat kid.
Yeah.
And then the bully later calls him. No, he doesn't.
He has
have a
no
name.
real name.
His name is a series of slurs.
A series of fucking insults
Yeah,
and
dude.
teases at the guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Talk about the biggest lore plot hole in this movie.
Hit me.
What happened to his mom?
She's was not cast.
Not a thing.
She's mentioned.
Okay, so
Twice. She's mentioned twice.
In my re-skim through of collecting some clips, and I happened to like maybe ear in if I heard anything about the mom at all. And really, all it is the dad at one point was like, "You can do anything you set your mind to," is what your mom would have said.
She's not. No, she's not dead.
She's not
maybe
dead.
she is.
She's definitely dead.
That's the only hint I got that
That's
maybe she's
fucking
dead.
sus.
Because she's not in the household ever. She's not at the basketball games. If she's not at the basketball games supporting her son there, like, what is she doing? Working
the dad
at night?
is grinding on Boof. Anyways, by the way, dad is fucking Boof for sure. Okay,
Dad
just so
and Boof
everybody
are
knows.
like training basketball games without
Yeah,
knowing.
he's like,
That is a very interesting.
check up on me. Check up on me.
That's a very interesting, and I'm like, oh, that's the 80s. That's Americana. Like, anyone's dad can, play basketball with anybody. But that is a much more nefarious reading of
He's
father
fucking
and
that
Boof.
shit, dude. And then
The
he's
mom's
mad
gone.
later when the son is kissing him. He's watching. And he's not happy about it. He's not happy about it. And here's the other mentioning of the mom, by the way, is Maverick, which I guess we'll just call him Maverick now. I don't know if that's his
yeah,
name.
the bully.
Maverick
the bully guy.
says, "I know what your kind are. I shot your mom in the head when she tried to kill my chickens."
Right.
Is that's
a dog joke.
Is that
I
him
think it's a
saying
dog
he killed
joke.
a
Maybe
dog?
he went to jail for killing Scott's mother.
Right, but why did he go to jail?
Well, he probably didn't go to jail because he was probably underage at the time. So
Even if he
didn't go
shot
to,
a fucking dog, can you just shoot a fucking dog in the head? I guess you can. It's killing
and
your chickens.
You're
from rural Colorado.
That's a farm thing. My friend's dog got shot, and he was really cut up about it.
You think
it's
that's
real.
why he went to jail? Is that he killed the guy's mom?
Sure. I mean, that's
The mom is not in this movie. It's just is like they refer to her, but we are left in a position where we don't know if she's even in the living world or not.
This is-
really.
I-
or
and
if
I
she's a
will-
werewolf.
Why do you think
We
she's
don't know
alive? You
anything.
think she's alive?
I thought she was alive. They just like, she's not around, in the house. They just didn't shoot, the mom.
She's at a knitting meeting.
Right. But you're right about the basketball game. That's big. And she should be there if she loves her son.
championship game?
Maybe she doesn't like werewolves.
Maybe that's why they broke up. But I will say that what I liked about Teen Wolf, just saying deal with it, this is a sort of area where it doesn't really work. This is sort of where they may be messing with the rules a little too much, or it's just shoddy movie making, and to where it's like, you know what, you got to clean this up just for narrative cohesiveness. But this is the other side of that coin. It's like when you make a movie like this and you just leave your corners cut.
And I feel like it's funny because the director, the director's guy named Rod Daniel. He makes a lot of these movies that are like this. They're like kind of silly concept comedy 80s movies. He did K9 with Belushi, and he did a couple movies. We'll talk about the movies later. But he says this is the tightest script he's ever read.
Really?
And I found that very bizarre.
Yeah, he must
And
be
that
reading some.
he was he's like, it came and it was perfect and we never changed a thing basically because it was so good. But here's the thing, I think where things get sloppy is, maybe that's true, and I think when things get sloppy is they shoot this in 21 days. All right?
They shot this film in 21 days.
21 days.
Jesus Christ, I had no
I
idea.
so
didn't. I
fast.
don't remember the edit turnaround, but knowing that they dropped a lot of scenes, because I know that there's definitely a bunch of scenes that they cut because there's some extended. You can watch some deleted scenes. I wonder how much other shit was left out and what fucked it up to the point where we think it's sloppy storytelling or sloppy writing, but it's really.
Maybe the script is just this beautiful tome, and it explains everything.
Yeah, and just so many deleted scenes that were never filmed and a part of a future Blu-ray experience or whatever.
I like you're saying, like how they make you deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't like films that go into this deep exposition of stuff.
Overthink
and-
it.
Yeah, because then it's
whatever.
over. Like once you just know the answer, then you don't think about it anymore.
Yeah,
and
the trick
that's-
isn't fun.
Yeah, but that is really interesting. What did you guys want to? So you picked up scenes, right? You picked some clips out of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What were you wanting to observe? I guess.
Well, I mean, one we could jump into now is probably one of the more iconic scenes of the whole movie. It was really the first surfs up. It's clip number 4, Kevin.
They are not.
Yeah, here it is.
Lewis
And that's the moment
This
when
is
Lewis
part-
is telling him about the bully.
He tells him to pull over. Stiles tells him to pull over because it's time.
Yeah, then he tells Lewis, who says there, I don't have a driver's license. He's like, just drive my car with the keg in the front seat.
See, he's
You
younger.
PG movie.
You
He's
minor.
younger. He's younger.
A minor with a beer keg in the front seat of this dude's convertible. He's about to drive in the front PG movie.
And this is this is what I love. It's like, this is just what we do. This is not explained.
Supposedly it was the urban surfing, which is like the dorky way of what this is called, was the writers' like college friends used to do it in New York.
Really?
And that's why, and they were like, he's like, yeah, they really did it. And so we took that and put it into here. Now this shot, interesting kind of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're just listening to the podcast, we're watching it. Beach Boys are playing. He's on top of the car. He's just surfing. He's just dancing around the car. And so how they did this was they spent an entire night, and he's really doing it. The actor, there's no stunt double. The actor's doing this. What they do is they tie a wire around him, and then it goes down his pants. There's a hole in the top of the car, and the wire goes through there. So you'll notice his right foot never moves. Left foot moves all the time. Right foot doesn't move. And then it's bolted into the bottom of the van there. So you can see it. You can see it for a half second there. That shot, they actually show it. But this is so the Jack in the Box here is famous because this shot is used like 4 times in this edit. They just like reuse that
That's
shot.
so funny.
If you watch it over again, you can kind of see. But very cool.
The funny thing mentioned there is this is the only like notable song also actually in the whole movie.
In the
'Cause we finished and I'm like, the soundtrack kind of sucks.
Soundtrack
Yeah, it really does.
But when you go back and watch the scene, you're like, oh, they're actually using the Beach Boys and stuff. So we probably want to keep talking over or at least mute it whenever they play that song because it's the only real signature song of this whole movie.
It's funny too because like probably the pie breakdown of their budget, it's a big one is probably licensing a Beach Boys song.
Yeah,
It's like
Michael J. Fox Beach Boys song, and that's all we got, guys.
And then let's make it happen. Also, it's really funny in the dance scene in at the dance. They play like a knockoff Thriller, and they do a knockoff Thriller dance.
Yes.
And it's very like,
Awkward.
Okay.
Very awkward.
I see what you're doing here.
Yeah, and then they play a couple songs in that. The other song is like this knockoff David Bowie, Judas Priest song or Billy Idol song. Everyone just feels like kind of close to what you'd expect.
At the party.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
What is happening? And it's definitely, if you talk about 80s dance movie things, all this reminds me is Rad. Have you ever seen Rad?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god,
Fantastic BMX movie.
Is Rad good?
it's the great. It's
The only
a
BMX movie I know is Motocross, the Disney Channel original movie.
That's a great movie. That's a good one. Yeah.
Disney Channel movie.
Yeah, it came right after Brink.
Okay,
the
alright.
one that started it all for that whole series.
Brink.
Luck of the Irish.
Pup and Suds.
I can fucking go on forever.
I
for
had
all
a
those
Gildan
Disney
WoW
classics.
named Pup and Suds.
Really?
Yeah,
You're a WoW player?
I was.
Are you gonna play Classic?
Maybe.
We're gonna start a guild if you want to.
Just wanna run it?
I never fucking played. I played a little bit of Legion. You played a little bit of
Yeah,
Legion.
let's run it, boys.
All right.
Let's do it.
Anyway, so
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking
wait,
about.
damn
I
it,
said
Dave.
motocross. I said it was.
Oh, we're
before
talking
that.
about Rad
You were talking-
dancing
you
to
said
music
Rad.
shitty.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's go on to the next scene.
Next scene would be the iconic moment where the transformation would actually be taking place. Because you know it's bound to happen in this movie, and this is going to be a delicate scene of the movie. It's like, how are you going to do the transformation? We've seen werewolf transformation, we've seen monster mutations. So for 80s movies, I'm curious on what you guys think on how they did with it. So let's check it out first.
Well, first off, I think this is a fucking awesome transformation.
It's good.
There's like the werewolf. Okay, here we go. We'll watch it.
I love
This is
song.
after that party. So the party finishes. Scott's like, some shit's going down. I got to get the fuck home.
Yeah, no, he was making out with Boof, and the wolf got inside of him, and he scratched up her back.
Oh, that's right.
In the
Ripped up her
closet.
back.
I feel like you
Boof
could-
was so into it.
Boof, she was like, yeah, she was with it.
That was unexpected.
So wet still. Just lots of wet Michael J.
Everything's
Fox in
wet.
this movie. If you like wet Michael J. Fox, this is your movie.
Yeah, look at him.
This makeup is really funny, actually.
It's crazy. He like, turns into a Neanderthal at one moment. right there.
Come on.
So, how they? Oh man, look at the pulsing.
The pulsing, the transforming.
I think the makeup in this is
The
fucking
makeup, it's like
sick.
the cutaway and the more makeup gets added on. Cutaway, cut on.
Yeah, so the process of how they do this, so this scene takes an entire day to shoot, okay? And how they do it is every scene has a different set of makeup. Makes sense, right? But what I didn't realize is that they actually have to remove all the makeup they did before they do the next layer. They don't just add it on. They start over.
Oh my god.
So they go in, they do the first stage, okay? Shoot the shots. He comes up. They have to wipe it all off, start all over. So basically, the makeup guys are going crazy. Everybody else has a really slow day on set because you're waiting. But the makeup has to do fucking 5 different things over and over and over. And Michael J. Fox is basically in hell.
Yeah, he's going in there and he's like, okay, for this one, you just have to go, All right, next one.
And it's all practical. So you saw the eyebrows and the cheeks were pulsing.
Yeah.
So how they do that is they have balloons that they put the makeup over, and then there's tubes that go behind his head, and then there's guys sitting below there, and they're just blowing into the tubes.
I don't know if they're probably blowing with like some hand thing, but
there's 2 ways to do it. It's actually okay. So I worked on a movie where I was doing some practical effects on set, and the shot was a guy is crushing a skull, and then the skull explodes, like the head explodes, and there's blood that squirts out of its ears and all over the place. And they tried like all these different ways of making the blood squirt correct, and what they ended up going with was literally we sat there, and there's like fucking 5 of us, I had like 1 ear, and there's another guy with another, we're all sitting right like fucking in this little huddle with tubes in our mouth, and there's like this timer, and then we all at the same time like and just like blow and squirt blood, and it all squirts out because that was the best way, because the compressor didn't work right, hand pump didn't work right, whatever. So I imagine something like that where it needs so much fine tune. Maybe there is somebody doing it, but the problem with that is that the air release in a thing wouldn't work right? It would pump, and then there's no release instantly, and that is like going in and out. So that's why I actually imagine it's somebody holding and it's just popping.
Weird.
Yeah. Such a fucking weird little thing.
And honestly, I think the Charmeleon stage looks like shit.
Yeah, straight up.
It's a Neanderthal.
It looks so
dude.
bad.
Yeah.
But like, and that's another, like, you never think about how much effort some people put into things, and they just end up still looking like shit. And you're like, eh.
Right. Well, the director in the director's commentary. So there is director's commentary that was for whatever reason not included. It was originally included in something, and then all the later releases got removed. But like some guy just like uploaded it to YouTube, blank, without, so you can just like listen to him talking. And the director talks so much shit about all the effects in this movie. He hates them.
Really?
He's like, he loves this movie. He's like, the only thing I don't like are the effects. They're not really very good.
And he's like, let me just.
I love them
prepare.
Though. I think they're fucking great. And there's all these like, I think they're known. They're well known.
I think the wolf looks great.
The wolf looks great. I like the eyeballs, the glowing eyes.
Oh yeah, that's cool too. Honestly, my biggest beef is the Charmeleon stage.
It's a bit much.
It just looks
like,
so
whoa.
dumb. But I agree. Everything else it's campy enough, and it gets the job done. And he looks ridiculous. And
the dad looks ridiculous.
The
dude.
dad looks like
hilarious.
a fucking Muppet.
Dad's fucking
Kevin,
great.
can you show that picture of the dad? He is
to the back end of that clip.
out. Well, you can. He also pulled a still of it.
Yeah, there's a still of the dad.
He looks like a fucking like Teletubby or like not Teletubby, or
It's like
Furby.
adorable.
He's adorable.
Yeah, he really is.
He's so
he
cute.
looks great.
And he's such a dad that is like one of the things the director said I thought was funny was when the only like especially because as soon as that scene comes on, you can't stop laughing at it. Like he's so like sad almost.
He's morose.
Yeah,
dude.
morose.
This day has finally come, son.
You know,
we are
and
werewolf
everything
people.
is trimmed. Like the young teenager's like wild and all over the place, but he's like
He's a
trimmed
reformed.
and nice
He's an
and
adult
fucking
werewolf.
And
refined with glasses and everything.
I guess the only direction, and this is I wonder what your opinion on this. The only direction he gave the actor was that this is a dad that knows how to make a casserole. That was what.
That is so funny.
The only direction he
that
gave.
makes me
Genius
think.
directing.
That makes me think that the intention is that the mom is no longer in the house.
That's what I think too.
That's some fucking sick
yeah,
lore.
that is
right
like
there.
that. Now that it's like he's a dad who has to cook and take care of his
yeah,
family,
and he
so.
like expanded on that and basically was like, because men can cook all this crazy stuff and they're really good. They can be just as good as women in the kitchen. This guy's an old school guy, So
it's a
and he's like,
I
but
hear that.
men don't cook casseroles, but this dad, he can cook a casserole.
That means when I hear that, I'd be like, you're a single father.
That's the
you're a
key.
single father.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a little limp dick too.
Yeah, he was great though, and I would one of the better acting performances in the movie. I mean, he doesn't show a whole lot. He's just a dad, but he does a great job being a dad in the hardware store, dad who's teaching you life lessons.
Yeah. You know what's funny, too? The first scene in the hardware store, I'm like, this is another relic of a lost age in which this will be swallowed up by corporate America one day.
And it already basically is. Like, Ace Hardwares are the not like the mom and pops now, but they aren't mom and pops. Like,
yeah.
I had Herdrix when I was a kid, and I had it was another one that got turned into an Ace, but it was something before. They were like, they looked exactly like that. You know,
just like shit in a room,
just like those graph boards or whatever, or like those dot boards where there's just like shit everywhere. And what's funny is he's talking about how the cheap parts come from India, because at this point in time we weren't dealing with China. We hadn't gone over there and started the whole fucking China trade stuff. So everything was coming from India, which is weird because you don't even think about like things being manufactured in India. It's like labor is taken out of India now.
Another funny thing with that whole scene in the hardware store is that was when the kid had the dog whistle. Blowing it. How come it didn't affect the dad?
Maybe he's because you know what, his wolf hormones are going crazy. He doesn't know how to control them. It's probably a toggle.
You're like Dan, like defending the movie right away. You're like, oh, it's probably, he's used to it. You know, he tuned it out now.
He control himself.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like there's a little shot where the dad just like puts it in an earplug, or he takes it out once the kid puts away the dog whistle.
Nope, no more questions then.
Yeah.
That is answered. Let's flash forward a bit because now, so Scott is now the werewolf. So things are looking pretty good. The dad's saying you got extra powers or some shit. So come with great responsibility. The hot chick of the school, I don't even know her character name, suddenly
Pamela, I believe.
finds him a bit
Pamela
appealing.
Wells.
God, this girl is like the loosest girl I've ever seen in high school ever.
Dude, I don't understand the relationship with Maverick.
She does have a relationship with Maverick.
She's just dating around.
But she straight up sleeps with Scott, goes on a date to the bowling alley with him, while still admitting that she's with him. Like after that night, and then they go home together. She's like, "Oh well, he's still my boyfriend."
And homie's like, "That's my girl. Don't you touch her." And it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, that's when he tells him he killed his mom.
So weird. He's like at the bowling alley with them, just like, "You keep your hands off my girl. She's my date tonight." And I'm like,
it's like
you're kind of a douche now.
They're very poly, I guess, in Teen Wolf world.
I mean, I feel like there were definitely people like that would just like date casually and kind of jump around, but not to the point of her where it's literally like,
there he is.
Yeah, he's popular now.
That's how it worked. Remember that scene?
Yeah.
It was
the
like
pizza shop.
They finished the game, which we're gonna check out next. The clip of him like transforming in the basketball game. But after that, he transforms. They have a successful game. They go to like the diner or some shit, and they're all rooting. And he sits in the booth, and then she just straight up goes, "You're popular now."
That's that. And that's that.
That's
and then
that.
The pizza shop.
You're the center of attention. I want to be there. We're now a thing. And then for whatever reason, Scott, Michael J. Fox's character throughout this whole movie, is obsessed with this girl. Even when she blatantly tells him, "I'm not interested," he's still almost predatory, wants to pursue her in some way.
Yeah, he's a creep in the beginning.
He's kind of creeping on her.
She's like, "Leave me alone. I don't like
he's
you."
like, okay.
Well, I'm so awkward. I'll try. And Bruce's like, "Nice one. Why don't you please have sex with me like your dad?"
Poor Boof, man.
Fucking Boof,
Dude, you know what Boof means?
It means like shitty, like boof. That's his boof.
That's what you think Boof means?
Yeah, that's how me and my friends say
Not
it.
what Dan's meaning of Boof is,
What's
apparently.
boof mean for you?
Boof for me has always been taking drugs up your butt.
Oh.
So
I'm
me and my
going
friends
to-
have we have Boof Crew. Boof Crew 2013.
Okay, so
is my
if-
Chicago
Shouts out.
friend group. Shout out Boof Crew 2013. Okay, but
You guys
that's what I
just
always think.
get together and
So it sounds like you're both right on
great.
this one. I looked up Boof. According to Urban Dictionary, at least, boof is to abuse or lick or to abuse a substance, like so probably like to go ham, but it's into one's rectum. It does
Okay.
to stick something up your butt.
Yeah.
Generally drugs, but that can include anything. So you could boof anything, not just drugs.
so you could boof a couple of gobstoppers.
yeah, a warhead. See who really puckers up.
The secondary apparently is like something that's just whack, shitty, dumb, fucked up.
So yeah. And I think they're linked because it's like, this is ass.
She's ass.
It's the same thing.
She's also
not boof. I'm talking about the word boof.
Oh, how those words correlate.
Boof is, and I will say converse to or inverse, I guess, to Pamela and Scott's relationship. Boof and Scott's relationship feels actually very natural and well written. They're childhood friends, maybe on again, off again. They don't know how they feel about each other, and that's very real, I feel like. And I was surprised.
Real, but the way they play off that somehow Scott can't get the signals. I guess you got to play it up a bit, but she's like dropping hard
She's
signals,
dropping
and he's
hard
like,
signals.
"What's
but
happening?"
after they like
they ham it up.
after
It's a
they-
little overhand.
After the
but yeah.
closet, they have that walk, and they're like, and then he grabs her hands, and he's like, "Boof, look." And that was like, that is a real human moment in
Yeah.
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
I think it's cool too. And there's a real human moment in there for her character as well, which, like, you know how sometimes you get mad at characters for doing stuff in movies? Boof, I got mad at when she takes a hard line and she's like, I don't want you to be the wolf. When we go to the dance, I want you to be Scott. And he's just like, nah.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
she's
no.
like, okay.
She's like,
Yeah.
and then he's like,
What?
"Oh, can I still dance to you?" Yeah, you can still dance. I didn't like that
She
either.
caved
I like that.
way
I was
too
like,
She
hard.
hard
Boof,
caved.
you
She
gotta
hard
stand
caved.
up for yourself.
Yeah,
you
that's
want
right.
this man? You gotta be something. He wants something. You gotta be something. All right.
Exactly. That's
Like caved hard there. It was bad.
No
It was
wonder he
bad.
doesn't want that, dude. She's fucking weak. Getting stretched
Again,
out by
I can't help but
dad.
feel for these actors where they're brought into this like Hollywood movie and like, who am I playing? Your name's Boof. What? Am I a female? You're,
Okay,
yeah,
can I see
you're
the-
the number
the-
2.
the script?
You're Boof, and you're Chubbs. Okay, it's just terrible. Let's go check out that first basketball transformation moment because it's just so iconic.
It's great.
It was the moment where it may be kind of realistic on how everyone approaches that situation, but then it's not because he just starts playing basketball.
Yeah,
Everyone's
just like,
"That's
"Game
cool.
on!"
Game on. So let's check it out. This is a pretty iconic kind of a moment.
Oh, he's eating get the salt for his hard-boiled egg. It's so good. It's such a gross thing to be eating casually.
The coach's number 2 is just a funny character and stuff. He never says anything until he yells like a groan at the end and it's over. But
The
he's
assistant
always in
coach.
every shot.
He's like in all these shots, yeah. And he's one. He's like, ooh. He literally, that's the noise he makes.
All right, so we have Scott here, and this is the first time he.
Look at this is so good.
Nobody's cheering for
Look
their
at
shit team.
Styles. Oh man. Sounds like can fly too with the teal pants.
By the way, we didn't know
I know. It's bad.
fucking moves. Yeah, there's the assistant coach with the hair. Here we go. Okay, there's a shot in here, by the way, that this one right there, that I think that they must have gotten fucked up on because they never show it again. That they never show that angle again. It looks like a crane lifting up. Oh, there it was, right? You saw it?
It me.
So obviously everyone's like, the fuck? I mean, if you were like, if someone showed up and there's suddenly hair, you thought it was like a magic trick. You're just kind of like,
Look at him just casually dribbling like, yeah, what?
You see
bitch?
Styles, I never noticed that. He like just like, oh, fuck.
the VP right there kind of like hides his dick. I think he pissed his pants.
Oh, that's a good callback.
But I think they show him right there and he did.
He did not piss his pants.
But-
But maybe the idea is
But
that
the idea was kind of like, ooh, I've seen this before. Hey guys, I could do it between
Right.
the legs. That's pretty cool, right?
I think this is kind of what would happen though. The
Yeah.
people would just watch.
You're
him.
stunned, yeah.
You're
You're
just
just be
like,
like,
what is happening?
Is this real? What's gonna happen? He's not hurting me.
Like, I guess you can go, dude. All right, sick dunk, bro.
Why is the military there, by the way? What
Because
the
that's who
fuck?
they're playing, I think. They're playing like a military high
Cadets.
school.
Again, something that's just not. It's like
Not addressed, but
weirdly
there.
specific, but not addressed.
Because they're not playing the Dragons. They're playing some like military school.
Yeah, they're called the cadets.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I did that shit in NBA Jam all the time, by the way. Steal that shit on the inbound and put it right back up.
That's that's the best thing in the whole thing. Is the fat guy looking over and being like, I guess we're good now.
All right, guys. He can dunk. He can steal.
Oh,
Let's
my God.
play some ball.
Yeah,
That's
like-
really all it takes.
That's it. All right, we're gonna be good now.
All right, he turned into a wolf, but he put that ball between his legs.
He's
and he
not
put
too
it in a
bad.
dunk.
And
I guess we're good.
He's
yeah,
not happy.
Not a lot of high schoolers can dunk.
That's pretty cool.
Only LeBron.
I do-
Actually, I saw an interview with LeBron. A little kid asked him when the first time he dunked a ball. 12 years old.
Holy shit.
12 fucking years old.
That's crazy, dude.
That's how you know.
I remember there was a kid in 8th grade that could dunk, and it was just like, it was like a legend. You know, he played at another school. It was like, have you heard about that guy that could dunk? You know,
Dunk.
like, and he was just, yeah, he was. A
Anyway,
beast.
dunking is like something that when you do it, you're like, it means a lot, and that's weird because
Touching the rim was like a fucking huge deal.
Yeah.
If you were a kid and you could touch the rim,
you're a god.
legend.
I remember Jake could touch the rim.
Jake. Shout out
And
Jake.
Jake was cool.
Sean. For me, it was Sean. Sean.
We always want to be a Jake or a Sean, but sometimes
I don't think anyone in my school could dunk. Our school sucked. Bunch of Mormon basketball players who couldn't jump. Bunch of white boys who couldn't jump at all. Sorry, guys.
Sean was white,
Shout
but
out
he
to
did it,
Folsom
dude.
High.
But yeah, so he turns into a wolf, and that, again, it's just so great because everyone's like, "What do we do?" And then it just fucking.
Then they play on,
Tom the
and there's
ball.
no further discussion
Ever.
about what the fuck
And I
just
love
happened. They're just like, he is now accepted, and he is now the popular kid in school. Everyone, let it be heard.
That is so sick. That's one of the reasons I love this movie so much, is because they respect the audience enough to be like, "Come on, and it works.
From a screenwriting perspective, that's like the biggest rule is don't waste your time. Just get into it. Like you should be getting whatever it is, whatever you're doing, get to the action. So like it is just a waste of time to try to explain it, to try to deal with the reaction or emotions of why this is happening. Just it's happening. And we're going along. I feel like this is. We talked about what genre this is earlier, but I feel like nobody really said. I feel like it's 3 genres, right? It's teen comedy, horror.
No.
I mean, it's
Horror.
a werewolf. You have to say horror. You have to say horror. It's a werewolf.
I would say if it didn't have the red eye effects, it wouldn't be horror. But I think the red eye,
the elements are
is
there,
the,
right?
It's,
It's
the,
like
it's the
horror diet,
linchpin
for
that
sure.
gives you that genre.
The transformation as well. That's horrific. You right? You
yeah,
know.
but the music is like, bah, bah, bah. It's like a Sega Genesis track.
And the last is a sports movie.
Sports movie,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
And which
It's like-
I think it lands in sports movie. I
It's
think
like
it spends more time.
75% sports movie, I feel.
More time. And the big character transformation has to do with him accepting himself, becoming good at the game, doing that. Wait, it's not like what a weird thing.
It is weird.
By the way, there was another fucking wolf movie that came out called Full Moon.
Okay.
At the time,
Kevin,
or
I didn't
new,
give you
or
a
what?
graphic, but if you could look up the image, that would be really cool. But if you can't find whatever, it's called Full Moon. Came out like a year after, and I feel like this was a weird trend that was much more prevalent in the 80s and 90s than it is now, where movies. I'm sorry, my nose is stuffed up. A movie will come out, and at the same time, another movie will come out that's literally the same movie, and it's some weird genre. So you have like Kindergarten Cop and the other detective cop movie with a little
You know what that
kid.
reminds me of that was more recent? The Illusionist and Prestige.
Illusionist and Prestige.
Came out same time. We're both like magic movies and shit. You're just kind of like,
Funny enough, so Teen Wolf and then Full Moon, and this director made the K-9 movie, which was a detective and a dog buddy cop movie, Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch, which
Same
is
year.
Tom Hanks movie, right?
Tom
Yeah,
Hanks,
yeah, yeah.
same thing.
Yep.
It's a weird thing in Hollywood how an idea is right for the moment, and either a couple of people like have it at the same time, or one studio says, "Oh, they're making a movie about a fucking dog and a cop. Let's make one too."
I mean, but it runs concurrently because these things take time to.
It's happening at the same time, yeah.
Right, and so that's
So
like,
Full Moon,
weird, yeah.
same thing, teen, werewolf, but he plays football. But it's a sports movie too.
I feel like they wanted to go with not basketball in this, but the budget was paper fucking thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Football is like the quintessential like sport, and
Full Moon High. Yeah, Full Moon High.
Oh my god, have you watched this?
I have not watched this.
I wonder if it's good.
It's probably not.
What if it's a ringer?
You know what else it
What if
reminded
it's
me
like
of?
the real genius of
I don't
Teen
know
Wolf
why
movies?
I got reminded of this, but Air Bud.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a note here
I
that
don't
says
know.
like this almost turns into like human airbud.
It's human Air Bud.
This
It really
movie
is.
turns into human airbud.
Human airbud.
He's not a golden retriever. He's a golden receiver.
What a fucking tagline.
Hey.
Werewolf annoys community.
That's so good. I like
yeah,
that
this
a
is all
lot.
from Full Moon High. I don't know. Whoa, makeup not so good in that one. That's
There's
the
coach.
kid.
I mean, even it wasn't even just like, and it's crazy that these other studios are jumping onto the bit because when one movie like Teen Wolf is successful, they're going to try to recreate it all over again with a sequel, and they did try to recreate it all with a sequel
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah, Teen
you're
Wolf
going to get
2.
quickly hit with a bunch of these kind of movies.
Jason Bateman. Did you ever watch the second one?
What?
Teen Wolf 2.
No.
They made a sequel, Teen Wolf 2, with Jason
I
Bateman.
don't
I
wanna
love
do
that
that.
style,
I've
by the
never
way. That's
watched
so
that.
classic. That's like the Animal House poster,
Yeah,
you
Animal
know?
House, yeah.
Yeah. Animal House may be one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love
Another one
Animal
with
House.
essentially the same plot.
It's literally the same
And
movie.
instead of basketball, it was boxing.
Yeah, Teen Wolf. The next Teen Wolf was boxing.
High school boxing?
I remember college.
Golden. It's college.
Oh. So,
So they just took it and went, okay, now they're not high school. It's a college thing now.
Thanks, Kevin.
And
Teen Wolf,
they,
the next
they did
generation.
boxing. Yeah, so our next clip was the wolf surfing. You want to check that out? I know Dan had like a... Because there is some... And I went back and rewatched it, Dan. There's some discrepancy between if this is a real person doing this stunt or
Okay.
not.
My pixel peep is that there's a large portion of this when he's doing the handstand. Jesus Christ, that it's not him. It's
Okay.
just a fucking prop. It's just like a fake guy.
I looked a bit
see. You look.
closer, and
You agree with me?
I saw
No.
the head. The dude was doing like a
Dude, yeah, the head is just
movement,
bobbling
and
to
I
make
think,
it feel alive.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just blowing in the wind.
Let's check it out. This is
But by the way, Styles is. I don't know if you got the monologue. Okay, it's just the surfing.
but you can talk about it because we probably should talk over Beach Boys.
Styles is like lines before this. He says the Lewis line. What's with Lewis, man? And he's like, and then he just goes back into character. But he was hurt.
Yeah.
Styles was feeling emotions.
Yeah.
You know?
He didn't want to tell him.
Like,
He didn't want to
was,
tell him whatever
you know,
it was.
Styles, his dad was killed by your dad. He was a werewolf, and it's all fucked up, you know.
And he's like, for a moment, he's hurt, and he's like, "Look, man, we got some cool tunes, we got some cool
We
wheels,
got drugs, we got booze, let's go car surfing,
and a
let's do
total
shit.
disregard for public safety."
And a total
So he's doing backflips on his truck.
This is crazy. The
Which-
wide shot, dude. So they're definitely a person. Okay?
Yeah, that's a person.
This is not.
Is this not a
That
person?
is not.
or
Look at the legs. Look at the legs.
That's
no
not a
way.
person.
That is not a
That's
Watch
not
the
a
head.
person.
Watch the head. Watch the head.
Yeah, it's bobbling.
That's a bobbling
It's just
head.
like a
Do you think it's
fucking-
just a bobblehead?
Watch. They show. By the way, is he drinking?
And driving? PG
P
movie, but
fucking
PG.
G.
P
Look at
fucking
the
G
lady
movie.
smiling.
the lady's loving it, dude. Everyone in town
That's
loves
not
it.
real either.
That's
There's just no way
That's
that's
such a
real.
sick shot.
This is ridiculous. His technique on those backflips was also not right either. It's just like some crazy, like, it's a stuntman, but it's not even like, I
probably has
took
to
a
do with
male
how safety
tumbling
it
class.
is.
I can't do flips or shit, but I learned the proper way of at least doing some of that stuff, and like that wasn't proper. So it's like, who's up there doing these crazy flips?
But, I mean, you're
that's not
on a
Michael?
car. I guess maybe the technique changes.
Yeah, maybe it does change because you're on a car and there's momentum, and you have to kind of just hope you land it or some shit.
It's crazy that the choice to shoot that wide shot makes so much of a difference in how that stunt is performed, where they show you everything and they're really doing it. Like that for me was crazy. It's like reminds me of like that's how Jackie Chan would shoot that. He would shoot it super fucking wide and he would make you see everything. He'd be like, they are doing it.
Yeah.
That is real. It
That's
is happening.
me.
Weird that this movie decides to take that shot because all the other ones are shot really close, tight, below. You never see because it's always those cars are being pulled. Those cars are being towed by another car. There's nobody driving them.
Oh, okay, I see.
You know, for the most part. But in this, there are obviously scenes where they are driving. But that they take it off. There's a driver. There's a guy. He could be chained down. He must be chained down some way, but he's still able to do flips. Maybe also the chain is what's making him flip funny.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's crazy. Iconic
How do you flip with a chain?
moment to the movie.
Well, if you had one
like
that
physically, it can't be done.
yeah, well, no, if you had one with like, so if you had around your waist, right, it's going down.
Oh,
and
and
then
it's
there's
on
like
the
a
side.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
well, they might guess. Still fucking weird, dude. I don't know.
That's wild.
Cool, wild stunt. Nutty, crazy. Apparently drinking and driving.
Yeah.
That's a thing people
Fuck
are
it,
just
man.
cool with. Littering, PG, no problem whatsoever. So, dad's concerned, being a bit irresponsible with the powers. They're heading off to the dance. We don't catch anything from the dance here, but I could just break it down. He's there. The bully comes up and punches him. Like, the girl, I keep forgetting the name of the popular slutty girl. Pamela is still intrigued by Scott, and the dude's so miffed by it, he just straight up runs up to Scott and punches him. Like, keep away from my girl. And Scott's not even near him at all. Just punches him. Now, after he gets punched, he, of course, freaks out and retorts by slashing the guy or just ripping off his shirt.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
really cut him. Just
But
rips
he
off his
could've.
shirt.
It could have been spaghetti
But
all
the
over
funny
the
thing
place.
after that is the VP shows up. He's like, oh, I finally
I
got
got
you
ya.
where I want you. You fucked up. You're expelled. Doesn't care about the guy who came up and punched him right in the face.
The
He's like,
20-year-old
20-year-old non.
Oh yeah, he's an ex-con.
Ex-con.
It's not even his high school.
Not even his high school. He's a guest there. Punches his own student. He's, yeah, fuck that guy. You're fucked now. And takes him aside. The dad shows up, makes him piss his pants, of course. And now we're moving on, gentlemen, into the final moment. This is where it becomes a sports movie.
It's actually
essentially.
interesting, though. I feel like that could be a climax, and then it's like, no, there's still more, and then the climax is actually the game.
Yeah.
And there's no falling action after that. But it's like it's this weird like brrr, brrr, and again, I feel like that's kind of sloppy. That's sloppy storytelling because he had to find himself with his dad's advice and then win the game. Maybe the game is the falling action. I don't know. It's actually sloppily narrative.
I mean, you mean like who's driving the actual action? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically what the movie is saying, that this is the climax of the film.
It's kind of, you feel like the overall message is like, he doesn't need to be the wolf to be able to be above average. I guess,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
his whole fight through the movie is that he's average. He doesn't want to just be average, and then boom, you're a wolf. So you're definitely not average. He's like, well, I'm definitely not average, but I don't like this. I don't like being
not
super
me.
popular. I don't like. It's not really me. I think everyone's expecting something out of me that I'm really not. So is he scaling back to accept being average again? But he's not, because they're winning the game. So it's
Yeah, he dug
it's
deep.
weird.
It's in my opinion a little sloppy, but yeah, the final sports scene is very sweaty.
Well, we can check it out. This is like kind of the winning moment at the end, which of course these boys are on the court, so we got to spray them down. Spray these boys down with their short shorts and everything.
How's nobody slipping?
But yeah,
Right.
But let's check out the winning moment here, which they pull it back. He shows up. Everyone's like, where's the wolf? He's like, I want to do this without. I believe we can do it. And they start to do it. They start to believe. And it comes down to this. Scott gets fouled. They are 2 points down.
They're tied. This is a free throw to tie the game.
I think this is
to
the
win.
first. This is the first shot. He
Oh,
gets two
right,
shots.
okay.
He got fouled. So they got 2 shots.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
he makes the first one. Now they're tied. And he just needs one more to win. There's the one line from the TA right there, by the way.
Just FYI, me and Dakota watched this scene 30 times.
We'll tell you why.
We'll tell you why. Yeah. It's over and over. So also, if you notice, this is a mirror of the opening scene. So the opening scene, the movie opens with a heartbeat. We hear the heartbeat here. You can't really hear it because we're not listening to the volume or whatever. The scene opens,
So sweaty.
the heartbeat coming into black. It opens on him taking a free throw, and he whiffs. And now we're mirrored to that. He's back. He free throws, but this time he's going to score.
Damn, don't spoil.
right in the damn hoop.
Doesn't go right in. They got to get that perfect shot where it seems like it
How many
might
times do you
miss.
think they shoot this, like to get the
Like
ball?
10.
You fucking did it, mate. Boom. Nails the shot.
Suck
He didn't
a
have
dick.
to become the wolf. People are kind of strung along through this game. Like, he may have to become the wolf and still do it, but he doesn't. Now, we have to end up cutting it here. Now, I got to tell you, the movie does end here.
It ends right here.
It ends there.
Yeah.
It just because they
Freeze frame.
pile up and then they roll the credits.
Yep.
But we can't really show that.
Why?
We can't show that because there's a weird movie myth that happens at the end of this movie. And I remember hearing about this back when I was younger. And then Dan and I last night get to watch the movie, and we are reconfirmed that it may be true. There is an extra in the background of the ending moment of this movie who whips out his dick.
No.
Yeah, he whips out his dick.
Are you fucking kidding
And it's
me?
in the cut.
It's in this cut, too.
And you guys watched this over and over.
Over and over and over again. Because what we
Did
were
you
trying
zoom
to,
in and enhance?
Yeah, it was like a
As
fucking...
best as we could.
So we were like going through the dick shot to see if it was a dick or his belt or like something else. It's obvious that his fly is very unzipped.
He's definitely, like, unzipped.
But then I had heard something
open.
that the counter argument is that is a woman and that is not a dick. It is like a something else, like some piece of clothing.
Whatever
that
it
you
is,
see.
it's not a dick.
And so we were like, well, we can solve this if we can find the person in the crowd and
So we
figure
went
out
back.
if it's a woman or a guy. So we go back and we're fucking frame by framing, backing, rewinding. It's like 20 minutes. We're sitting, we're standing, we're pacing like crazy detectives in his living room.
First,
you
we're
know?
looking for a red shirt. First, we're looking for a red shirt because the only thing you see, and to be honest, guys, like you could probably Google this, you could probably YouTube this, and you can watch
Yeah, you
it
can
right
see it
now
on
if you're
YouTube.
listening at home.
But it may
I don't
be a
think we
dick,
can
so we're
actually
not gonna
air
show
it
it.
because I think it would
If
be
it is a dick, that's
if it's
not-
a dick,
that's
it's
not
you know.
cool.
But there is a red shirt person cut off, can't see their head. You can only see it's
Green
like,
pants.
It's like
Like
they're
green or
almost
dark
the
gray
center
jeans.
of the shot. Like Michael is slightly below center, getting victory, and he is just up center, and you could see
What's he
his lower
doing?
body. He's dick out, fly
Wait, no,
down.
but is he like?
Dick
What,
out,
is he
and then he's-
celebrating?
and
Is
then-
he?
I'm gonna pull it up for you. You keep talking.
Yeah, he'll show it to you privately. It's like he's just there. You see it. My best edition is that his briefs are showing, and through that hole in the front, you see the little mushroom right there. And he takes a moment to and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna put it away. But I feel like he's like, I gotta put it away. Oop, my ball slipped out. Okay, now I gotta really put it away. I'm gonna cover it with my sweater. That's actually what happens, and it happens right up to the title, the credit roll. So it's right there at the very end of the movie.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Here, talk in the mic. So like here,
One more time.
He's watching it. If you guys want to
That-
watch it, you probably have to YouTube or Google it.
Dude. Yeah.
It's a dick. It's a dick. So we go through and we're looking for the red shirt man, okay, or woman, because I'm kind of like I don't know.
This
I don't
is
know if
wild.
it's a dick. I don't
This
know if it's
is
a dick.
serious.
And we're looking around, and we can never find it. And then we go back, and we rewatch it again, and we realize he's got a jacket. He's got a jacket that he's taken off.
Yeah, he took off the jacket.
He took off his jacket,
So
right?
we had to go back again.
So we went
to
back
see
again.
if you could find a silver jacket person.
Never found it.
Couldn't find him.
Do we think he like was an extra that was somewhere, or a crew member that during the cast that scene went up there? We don't even know.
Because so many people
Who
have
is
come
it?
down from the stands onto the court. The dad like waits up there a bit, but most people
So
had come
wow.
down. So he could have came from anywhere. It could have been someone in the crew who went up there and did it, but it seems like, without a doubt, someone went and photobombed the very ending of this movie with their mushroom-tipped dick in the background
And put
without
it back
question.
in.
And
Yeah.
no one saw it for whatever reason, editing or nothing. I don't know how you watch this movie, start inserting credit rolls, and not see that dick.
Editor
I
and
can't
director
believe
said
it.
they never saw it. I listened to the commentary.
So they've addressed
Oh, you
this.
did.
and he said first off, he calls it
So he
mooning.
acknowledged it that it happened.
Yeah, he calls it mooning. He says, "Oh yeah, this is the scene where the extra moons the camera."
Where the fuck did he grow up?
I know mooning is a butt, right? Like
Yeah,
it's the butt.
That's universally.
So they, but he's like, yeah, we didn't notice after we edited the movie. It was like 6 months after it was released that somebody told him about it. You know, so like
I can't believe
nobody
it.
fucking caught it.
Like
and
you
it's
have
so
to be the
obvious.
purest of minds to not even see that moment happening before your eyes. Like,
oh my god,
it's like just there.
Dude, his wife thought we were like so crazy. We were like screaming and going back and forth and
just like
running
you
around
got the fucking
room.
the string drawn on
Yeah,
the map and the
sure.
fucking
Like,
Pepe Sylvia.
I wish I could remember what it was. I
Black
think there was
hole.
used to be a TV show of like movie myths or some shit, and I remember it coming up at some point.
Movie
And I
buff.
definitely remember seeing it way back in the day when I was younger, being and then when we watched it, I'm like, I wonder if that was true, and sure enough,
I'm thinking of a pop-up
that
video,
fucking
but I
guy
don't think that
right
was there.
That is
Pop-up
Crazy,
video.
wild stuff. So some fun little photo bombing at the end.
Yeah.
That's fucking movie.
Great movie. We already mentioned it went on to do a sequel. The sequel was not as crazy. Jason Bateman and a musical adventure. They actually had more singing and dancing in Teen Wolf 2 than anything else.
One more thing I wanted to sort of address about the film is that like it's problematic in a lot of ways in that it is very 80s and it has that sort of like there's literally a token black guy. He's in for one shot.
The breakdancing guy?
No, but when
the
Styles,
Afro-American in the
The
beginning.
basketball
yeah,
guy.
and Styles is like trying to get money for the keg, and he's like, "Hey, I'm raising money for my
Afro-American.
Afro-American fund." It's like, wow, not only did you just use this guy for one shot, you roasted him for being black.
I forgot there was one other very intense scene. in
There
this
is a very
movie.
in the garage,
In the garage.
and that's fucked
The
up too.
F-bomb
They-
gets dropped.
They dropped the F-bomb.
PG movie, by the way.
Are we going to
And
show that clip? Do you have a clip?
I didn't clip it. I totally forgot until he was mentioning that, and I was like, "Oh my god!" There was a scene where they dropped the F bomb.
Dude, it's
that-
rough, man. He says it twice, and it's
And Michael J. Fox is like, no, I'm not an F.
yeah,
And dude, we rewatched it, and it made me so uncomfortable.
it's so jarring these days. Like you're like, shit,
Yeah.
that's.
I'll say it because everyone's like, it's like in this scene, and this is a time that's very different when Scott
yeah.
is
He's got that
approaching.
shirt.
I have that shirt.
When
He
Sky's
has that
approaching
shirt.
Styles in this scene right here that we're looking at, he wants to confront him about I'm a
He's
werewolf.
like, I gotta tell you something,
I gotta tell him I'm a
Styles.
werewolf, and he's like alluding to this. So of course Styles is gonna turn around and goes, "What is it? You gonna tell me you're a fag?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then he
Michael's
doubles
like, "No,
down on
dude,
it.
I'm not a fag."
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, "Oh my god, this movie's PG. What the hell's
Yeah,
happening
dude.
right now?"
And it's a blemish, right? It's a blemish
Yeah.
on the idea of like this.
Yes.
This is it's a lot like it reminds me of A Christmas Story with the kid you shoot your eye out.
Yeah, what do they say in that?
I don't know.
Well, they said fudge, and they
No,
made it
no.
like it's the F word.
In the classroom in that film, there are black kids, and it's set in like the 40s. That just
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
be a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And like you can't. It's like you look back and you're like, geez, like there's just a lot of dark lore going
Like,
on
that's
in
the
American
thing, like,
history.
it's-
You know,
that was just a thing. It was just a thing. Like car surfing, like doing drugs in high school. Like,
yeah. Styles
booze in
also
high
makes a
school.
crack. He's like, they exit the closet, and Styles like, what are you coming out of the closet? You know, it's like,
Ooh, yeah.
all right, Styles, like, and it's unfortunate, right? And
Yeah.
also, I mean, all the women are okay with what's going on
Yeah.
in the film, and
In this scene, after he becomes a werewolf, he asks him if he could sniff out his drugs in the garage right there.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they're doing in the garage. They're looking for his
yeah,
weed.
they're
looking
looking
for
for
his
his
weed.
weed. He's like, well, I can smell what you're looking for. And then-
PG movie. This is so funny. It's just so crazy when you think
I gotta go back. I should have listened because I didn't listen to all the director's commentary, but I would love to hear
that scene.
what he says about that because it's definitely. I mean, it's offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like get offensive, but I just think the way they use that word and how brash they are with the word and the way it is like a very negative thing. Because I feel like the joke is almost okay. Like you could get away with somebody if,
like, what are you being a
like, oh God, don't tell me that you're gay. Right?
yeah, like you like dudes.
Yeah.
Are you hitting on me, or do you have a crush on me, or do you want to fuck me?
Yeah.
Like all those things could be okay, and then he could be like, I don't want to fuck you, or I don't like dudes, or I'm not gay. Like all those things. It's the fact that it's like a fag. Like
yeah, like
that is just the most derogatory.
It hits so hard.
Term. Dude, it punches, and we showed it to his wife, and we were like, get ready to see this, and she was so like, I didn't like that, you know?
Yeah,
It's
you're
like,
like, Teen Wolf, by the way.
So
I don't remember that.
A lot of, and that sucks too. 'Cause it's just like a lot of movies have that where it's like, oh, I love this movie, but like, oh shit, they really, you know, they went a little hard with some of that stuff, and it's just.
But you know, if it went over and they did it again, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't change it, you know. It's like when Spielberg put the walkie-talkies in instead of the guns. It ruins it.
Yeah, I mean, it in a way, it's a snapshot of the time, and you know, just let it sort of exist as that, I guess. But yeah.
One of the little things I like to do, if you don't.
Let's do it. We should probably wrap it up somewhat.
I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to talk about. I like talking about what these directors did after and what they
please
were,
do.
because
Dan's
I think it's
really
very
good about telling us
interesting
where these people
to
went off
look
to.
at these stories of these people. So again, the guy's name is Rod Daniel. He's a TV guy at first. Teen Wolf is his first movie.
Yeah, I looked this up too. He's got a weird track record.
It's a very interesting one. Kind of all over the place, but when it comes to movies, they're very all much in the same realm.
What are they?
So I'm gonna jump into some of the more well-known ones, and I have to look because I can't remember every single one. So after this, K9, like I said, which is like the.
He did Alley Cat Strike. That's another Disney Channel original movie, motherfuckers.
Wait, what is it?
Alley Cat Strike.
Where do you see that?
It's a bowling movie. There it is.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that one.
Beethoven second. What a
Beethoven
classic.
second. Okay.
Not first, but the second.
Yeah, a classic one. So that movie, by the way, is like his most successful movie besides Teen Wolf.
Okay.
That makes it's like a $50 million budget.
He's a TV movie
Makes
director.
54. He's a TV guy. Like Father, Like Son. Another very one of these 80s Hollywood genre, like super Hollywood concept movies where the father and the son swap places. It's with that guy, it's like Big, you know, where one guy becomes the older guy, one guy becomes the younger guy. But it's Big with a father and a son. And the guy in it is that actor who is like a Jesus freak now, who was very 80s, whatever. I can't remember. Who cares? That one, it makes like $34 million. Home Alone 4. This French Stewart, direct-to-TV Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I mean, like, press 1 if you've ever seen that. Like,
No.
Yo, spam 1 in the chat.
That's just not like a...
That's a movie?
Interesting guy. He's dead now. He ended
really?
his career in Chicago. He started doing kind of commercials and more TV shit. He retired from directing films in like 2007 or something like that.
God, that movie looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, look at the face, French Stewart's face, fucking terrible.
I hate
You
that.
get it? We did it again.
I hate that idea that like, well, people know the name Home Alone. Someone will watch it. Let's run with it. That's
probably
straight
made
to
money.
DVD.
I know, that's the thing. Stop watching bad shit, and they'll stop making bad shit.
But there's that party who's like, how bad is it gonna be? And you're like, kind of, you don't want to watch it, but you edge towards it, and you end up seeing it.
If you're watching something ironically, I'm always for that. But if there's someone out there who is watching Home Alone 4, like, and just laughing and eating popcorn like fucking Idiocracy, like, you know what I mean? It's like, just watch better stuff, and they'll have to make better stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's an interesting director because I feel like most of the stuff we talk about, especially with these older movies, they have flop after flop after flop, and oftentimes movies we review are flops too.
Yeah.
But this guy, all his movies do pretty good, and he makes money, and they're not all like great movies, and they're kind of just. That's his alley, and he stays in his lane. But
and I gotta say, I'm surprised this is one of the movies that was not a flop. I could have seen one of our other movies being more successful, and this one being a flop.
Everybody thought this was going to be a flop. I do think Back to the Future had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, probably. If this was just some other guy, I don't think the movie would have been as iconic. Michael J. Fox really does make it matter a little bit more, even now. So
and they use the billing is Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
and it's like.
Yeah. From Back to the Future, like they say it in the trailer, like they know they know how to get that money.
So they must have filmed this around the same time, but didn't finish this until after Back to the Future, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how the timeline must have worked between his work on this movie and Back to the Future. But he obviously went on to hit a huge stride. So we know what Michael J. Fox went on to do.
The God.
Great man. Does great work. But
Spin City. You guys Spin City guys?
Spin City sucks, man.
What, dude?
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
Spin City.
Michael J. Fox is great, but I don't like that show.
I like Spin City.
Sorry.
I didn't watch
Okay.
much of it.
That's fine.
But
Fuck you, but it's fine.
do we have like a rating system at all for our movies still
I
that we're
hate
watching? We always
rating
like a band
systems.
thing, but I enjoy Teen Wolf. It's a great movie to go back and catch again.
I give it 1 hidden dick out of 1.
One hidden dick out
a
of
hidden
one.
dick. Yeah, it definitely had one hidden dick. No, yeah, it's a great movie. It's
So
just-
many fun Easter eggs.
You know what movie I wanted to suggest, but it might have been biting a little bit too much of James Roday, is Real Genius with Val Kilmer. You guys ever see that? Big sleeper. It's better than Teen Wolf.
I love Val Kilmer.
You
me
guys
too.
should.
Oh, wait, he's like a high schooler.
He's in college and
And
he's
he-
like a genius, and then there's a high school kid that goes with him to study and like do like some technical university. It's amazing. But yeah, it's the guy who Psych, you know that show?
Yeah.
James Roday. He's like, I watch Real Genius and I wanted to be that guy. And he is. And that's why I ended up watching Real Genius. I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. So that's another one sort of in the same vein of Teen Wolf. I think bigger budget, maybe not, but these 80s movies, man, they're like candy.
They're so good. You should watch. I feel like so much of our audience too just has no connection to these movies.
Right.
There's
yeah.
a lot. I mean, we, as in Beyond the Summit, have like a bigger Dota following, and I guess the average age of that audience is a little on the younger side.
But for us, like when I first moved out here, we were having LAN nights. Like once a week, we'd have a LAN night here, and the whole thing was we'd play games at the office, just LAN, and then we'd watch a movie. And it was like week after week, we were just choosing. Like Ken was like, I want to watch the original G.I. Joe cartoon. I brought in Rad. Like this is the kind of stuff that gets. Like it's what I remember and want to share with people is movies like Teen Wolf, where they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like, wait, what is this movie
and,
about?
and then you end up all watching it, and you're like, yeah, that was fucking wild.
That was the time.
and you can laugh during it, and you can talk during it because it's kind of stupid, so you don't really have to pay that much attention. Like
the stories are usually like half-assed, if anything. So you're kind of like, "Where's the mom?"
you're
That's
enjoying
fine,
these
dude.
big scenes, like the memorable scenes, like in this, the transformation, the basketball scene, the whatever, like the. Well, we didn't even talk about the fucking sex scene in this movie, which is crazy for it being PG. But
Yeah.
there's a sex scene. And
Side boob
there's
and
side
all.
boob. Theater kids, Dakota would know. This is how they get down.
Yeah, I don't know. He went. You grow hair, and suddenly chicks are doing you in the dressing room. Apparently.
the dressing room is where it all happens, magic,
Apparently.
if you will. So
This is ridiculous. Good movie, great
Yeah.
time. Slime, it was wonderful to have you on
Dude,
our
thanks
little
for having
podcast.
me, guys.
Thanks for coming,
Super
dude.
fun.
We should definitely come back, and we should do more old nostalgic flicks together.
yes,
for sure.
definitely down. So
Awesome stuff.
What else we got going on? How can they support us? What's coming up next?
We got a lot of stuff going on, but I want to give Slime the floor first. If you have anything you want to talk about or plug or anything like
we
that.
didn't play the. Okay, yeah. Well, you talk about how people can find you, what you do.
You can find me slime_machine on Twitter. I run Bad Melee, which is a blog, and also the YouTube channel. We do a podcast as well. It's centered around Super Smash Bros. Melee competitive scene and esports, and we also just shoot the shit. And so yeah, I've been doing that for a while because I can't shake the game, but I also need to be in front of a camera because I hate myself. So that's where I do is Bad Melee on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, you got a cool new trailer.
We shot. We have a Patreon, and we started generating a little bit of money, so we bought some equipment. And with this equipment, we got right to work, and we shot a season 3 for the podcast promotion. And so, if you guys want to watch that, here it
Let's
is.
check it out.
Interesting how you have seasons for your podcast too. Okay, this is great. Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Come on in.
Good.
Just go and have a seat right here on the couch.
Okay.
How's the drive?
It was
Do you
pretty
actually
good,
sit in the
actually.
middle of the couch? Just kind of scoot over.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. It was good. Traffic, but cool. Fine.
So you want to be involved in the podcasting industry?
Not quite sure what that means.
Basically, what I do is I get guys like you jobs. Jobs pay nothing. We record this interview, send it to Dawson, and if we like you, we hire you. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
Yeah, I was on your podcast.
Could you stand up for me, actually?
Do you mean to stand up?
Yeah, just go ahead and stand up really quick.
Okay.
Turn around, please.
You want me to turn around?
Yeah, just turn around one time.
Look, I'm not really quite sure what I'm
Sit
supposed to be
down
doing right now.
So, here's the thing. We can't just hire a pretty voice, okay? We need to know that you'll be willing to work on camera all the time, okay? So let me just...
Okay. Hey, Mike, we're ready for you now. Interview's going to be in the other room. What are you doing?
I don't know. We're going to run through some bits. I've only ever seen interviews that go like this.
Look, let's just go. Mike, go. You too. Get out of here. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm sorry.
No. What the fuck? No, that's not an interview. That's not a normal interview. That's not chill.
I sit down and pat him to interview. I don't understand. You know, it's funny, when he did the turnaround, the first time we did that take, I did the a little too loud, and we could not stop laughing, and so, yeah, that's what I'm working on, and so, I don't know, we're just trying to work on more stuff. It's fun. It's always what I want to do.
Are you guys going to do more video content?
Yes, that's like the plan.
Sweet.
Just to shoot more stuff and write
let's
more
collab,
stuff.
dude.
Dude, let's big collab.
We already have.
We have collabed.
If you guys didn't know, Slime was hugely responsible for a lot of the awesome stuff we did this Match Summit. The Bateman controller skit, as well as breaking down the entire Evangelion thing and kind of just helping us with a lot of the inside baseball of those skits.
Yeah, I'd never thought that watching Evangelion would ever be of use to anybody in the world, but
there you go.
there it was. No, it was super fun, and it was just cool to be around people who are like already doing this and know what they're doing, and like it was when I got to the summit, I just hit the ground running, and it was a really good feeling. So
yeah, that was fun. It was great. You're also the Slime on the Streets are fucking hilarious. You guys should check those out on YouTube if you get a chance.
Yeah.
They're really funny.
Yeah. For any Beyond the Summit fans out there, of course, you can catch all of our podcasts. You can follow the action. Firstly, check out our podcast Twitter. That is BTS Pods, where you can catch all of the latest in our Hot Cocks and Movie Buff series and when we're going to be going live. I do not believe at the moment we have a slated Hot Cox episode to come. Perhaps on the Monday following the holiday, we may return to our show priority to talk a bit about Perfect World Masters, maybe a little bit about Midas Mode, and some of the other Dota events that have been going on that have had some awesome content, because we like to talk about the show aspect as far as those tournaments
go. A lot of
go.
good stuff for show priority coming up.
So I'll probably be going through a lot of clips and footage over the holiday break a bit to prepare for something for that. We'll return for a future movie buff, maybe something in the theaters. As far as Beyond the Summit, we have the Dota Summit coming up soon in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
And a lot of exciting things going to be happening with that for content for what? Oh, yeah. We'll be able to air that as well. Lots of cool things coming with that. We have some merch, which will air a merch mini video here to promote some of the cool merchandise that we have on sale for this event.
The Dota Summit merch is fucking great.
On sale for that. And then also there is a short film contest for any creative people out there, content creators. You don't even have to be Dota 2
Slime's
fans.
going to submit something, dude.
If you submit a Dota 2 something or other that is holiday related in some fashion anyway,
it can be a song, it can be a animation, it can be a little video, it can be you screaming at the camera. If you make it, here's the thing. Not only do we have to watch it, we're going to watch it on this show. Everybody else is going to watch it. So whatever you put up there, we aren't going to screen them. We're just going to go through them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Hey.
You might get a Teen Wolf scene.
You might get just a little slip.
Dick.
Just a little hidden dick. That's the risk you run.
Yeah, we're hoping to be able to look through them on a future movie buff, pick out like the top 5, and then bring them over to the summit where we'll have some special guest judges from pro players probably watch some of the content.
Awesome prizes too.
Yeah,
That's
and then
cool.
the prizes are great.
That's really
First place will get $1,000. We have some sponsor swag that we're going to give away, including a AOC monitor, which is like a $900 27-inch, like
it's
160 hertz
the
monitor.
prize
It's ridiculous.
so that's
Big
like for the
juicy.
community vote. So we're gonna have a first, second, third where we're giving prizes out, and then the community vote is getting this huge sponsor. Thank you, Sennheiser, AOC, Monster, all contributing hugely. We're getting Sennheiser headsets in there. We're getting a bunch of Monster swag. Like it's if you participate, you're probably gonna get something pretty cool.
We're still going to be doing a lot of our own original Dicktown content that we always like to do at every
Dicktown
summit event.
coming out.
But usually it's only TI that has this opportunity for content creators to be able to put something out there and maybe get something for it or get some extra recognition or have a platform to put your work out there. So just kind of a new opportunity for that. And you can submit and catch more information at summit.gg. In particular, you can go to summit.gg/contest for the short film stuff.
Got all the rules, got everything there.
We mentioned a bit about the merchandise before, so let's quickly air our mini merchandise commercial short here for you guys to check out.
It's
Okay.
fucking
The
song.
sweater is like probably the
sweater is the
headliner.
coolest thing
So
ever.
we have a
I like
really-
that too. It's like a beer logo.
The mug is great. So we have some limited edition
Hot Cocks,
stuff.
new Hot Cock
Cocks,
shirt.
I like that gradient.
That neon. Can you show the sweater?
present.
Can we pause on the?
Yeah, that just went by so freaking quick. We have a new Dota ugly sweater, and a Dota seasonal theme mug and shirt.
It is
that
the
are gonna be around
first
for
one.
all day.
In the video, Kevin, the sweater.
Yeah, I big missed it.
There, yeah,
There it is.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude,
good. I like
look
that.
how nice that is.
Peter helped design this. You can see like you have the creeps in the
Yeah,
middle,
little
the
rage
classic
creep.
ho ho ha ha.
Ho
I
ho
like that a
ha.
lot.
Peter killed it with this. I love this design. I bought this right away. I'm really excited
That's
to wear
pretty
it.
good.
It's just like it's so good because it's if somebody knows Dota, you're gonna see that and be like, holy shit, where'd you get that? And if they don't know Dota, they're probably not even gonna question it. It just looks like an ugly sweater that's kind
snowy
of funny.
mountains and-
Snowy mountains,
Yeah.
little trees. That like the mountains, like little guys, ho ho ha ha. Like,
It's good.
This, the sniper
Yeah,
cat.
So we'll be flexing a lot of this merch at the Summit event. You can flex it yourselves at home by going to our DBH website, which should be designedbyhumans.com/beyond the summit to catch all of our merchandise
Yep.
there. And again,
Yep.
summit.gg for overall any information as far as this Dota Summit event. We have the format information there, the teams that are playing with their roster lists, the short film contest, and and if you're just movie buff fans, like let's say you're not even big gamers, but you love to come here and hang with us and talk about old movies and new movies, we have a movie buff poster that we're selling. It's this animated. I don't know why people might want our faces on their walls, but this is a good opportunity.
Just get
if
a
they
little
wanted-
one.
If they wanted to just show support for this specific product, like,
Yeah.
hey, I like this kind of stuff. I'm maybe not a Dota fan or maybe not just a Smash fan, but I like new ideas, I like new products, I like movies and entertainment, I like this. This is a way you can show your support directly for this particular product. So
Movie buffed or the Hot Cock shirt. Like we want to build out this podcast networks, do a lot of stuff, and it'd be really cool to make shit for it and have people buy it. That seems really fun.
Yep.
Cool way directly to support the show.
if you have ideas on how we could do things a bit better, if you have movies you want us to see, events to check out and stuff like that, you can always hit us up again on BTS Pods. But that is going to wrap up today's episode of Movie Buff, guys. Thank you so much, Slime. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It
Thanks for
was awesome to
having
have
me,
you come down and
lads.
talk about Team Wolf. Dan, it's always a pleasure. And I am Dakota. We'll see you next time on a future BTS podcast. Take care.